Front desk open midnight shift. Mariah walks in with another tall tale twist. Mariah at the hotel, badge clipped sideways, selling wild stories through the slow weekdays. Says a purple sheet got them ported by your king, then changes the details with every bell ring. Housekeeping heard it, concierge knew. She claimed the minibar was painted royal blue. A suitcase full of rumors, a smile too wide. Every hallway turn got a brand new side. She says, believe me, I saw it myself. While the truth gets checked on the lost and found shelf. Snaps, straps, and butt plugs. Mariah's got the story that she swears is enough. Purple sheet, tall tales, hotel room thugs. Snaps, straps, and butt plugs. Everybody knows when the legend gets spun. She adds 3 more chapters before she is done. Snaps, straps, and butt plugs. Mariah talks big, but the facts don't show up. She told room 12 that the moon paid rent. Said the night clerk vanished through a peppermint vent. Claimed the purple sheet could predict checkout. Then blamed the elevator when the math came out. Manager says, Mariah, please keep it straight. She says, I'm just protecting the hotel's great name. But the lobby went quiet when she raised that flag with a velvet purple sheet in a laundry bag. She says, believe me, I saw it myself. While the truth gets checked on the lost and found shelf. Snaps, straps, and butt plugs. Mariah's got the story that she swears is enough. Purple sheet, tall tales, hotel room thugs. Snaps, straps, and butt plugs. Everybody knows when the legend gets spun. She adds 3 more chapters before she is done. Snaps, straps, and butt plugs. Mariah talks big, but the facts don't show up. No names on the book and no proof in the file. Just a purple sheet and a practice smile. She could turn one rumor into 24. By the time she hits the lobby, there are 20 more. Double kick thunder when she storms through the hall. Heavy bass shaking every framed hotel wall. She says the sheets came from a secret parade, but the laundry tag says Tuesday, grade A. Mariah, slow down, let the truth check in. Stories need a key before they can begin. Still she winks at the bellman, grabs a cup and spins one final tale. The whole town's in on it. Snaps, straps, and butt plugs. Mariah's got a story that she swears is enough. Purple sheet, tall tales, hotel room thugs. Snaps, straps, and butt plugs. Everybody knows when the legend gets spun. She has 3 more chapters before she is done. Snaps, straps, and butt plugs. Mariah talks big, but the facts don't show up. Front desk closed, last room packed. Purple sheet folded, truth checked back. Mariah waves as the night shift shrugs. Snaps, straps, and butt plugs. No. True crime, Dago and the TruCrime Cafe, the last 24 all day. Pavarotti, harsh reality, truth and transparency. Jules, true crime reactions, eyes wide. Hildreth investigates, won't slide. We read the blood in the paper, we trace the light of the maker. Every cover-up starts to shake. When the facts awake, we won't stop, till the truth breaks through. We won't stop, till the truth comes through. Exposing every lie, day after day. We won't stop, till the truth stays. Till the truth stays. Amber Vance with Travesty logic, make it understand. Glitch DNA in the case file glow, tearing them apart, let the details show. Idaho 4, every name we speak, Delphi, Karen Reed, we stay on the streak. Every contradiction, every hidden door, we're kicking it open, asking for more. No polished smile can save you, no silence gets to save you. If the story bends for power, we come back louder. We won't stop till the truth breaks through. We won't stop till the truth comes through. Exposing every lie, day after day. We won't stop till the truth stays. Facts in the dark, we drag them in today. Every mask, every mark gets stripped away. Corruption in every way, we name it plain, till the last false word is gone in the till the truth breaks through. We won't stop till the truth comes through. Exposing every lie, day after day. We won't stop till the truth stays. No. There, in the chair, in the room, the blackest nights in the moon. 4 people murdered in the night. My innocence taken, I'm guilty. I did not fight. You took it all away in the end. There was nothing left. All redacted, blacked out. Corruption and lies. All the truth, it's gone now. All redacted, blacked out. Corruption and lies. It then, I'll say it now. I'm innocent, they blacked me out. I'm a fool, I'm a man, I'll never say I did it. I can't. She took it all away in the end. There was nothing left. All redacted, blacked out. Corruption and lies. All the truth, it's gone now. All redacted, blacked out.
All right, all you beautiful people, welcome back to the cafe and happy Sunday to you. I hope you're all doing great today. It is a great day, isn't it? Sure, why not? Thank you guys for joining us here today, guys, as we come out for another open discussion based on show we had in the verdict room last night as we broke down and reviewed the Steve Goncalves interview. Many people reached out to me via email and whatnot saying, I am mad and I want to talk about it. So we're going to talk about it today. People give people the option to express their feelings on different parts and things of this. So we're going to check it all out, discuss that and whatever else we jump into as well. So come on in. Maybe we'll bring people up here on the panel to discuss different things about the case, about the interview, anything else you guys want to talk about. It's a wide open discussion today. So come on down, everybody. Come on in, grab a seat. You guys know how we do this. I'm going to go ahead and hit the intro, let it roll out, and then we will get things moving. Here we go. Here we go.
Neon lights flicker like broken halos. Whispers gather in the smoke-filled air. Tables carved with secrets and shadows. Every story's a wound laid bare. The kettle's boiling with restless rage. Justice written on an unseen page. I sip the silence, bitter taste, waiting for the ghosts to show their face. At the TruCrime Cafe, we serve up the pain they try to hide away. Pour another cup of the truth you crave. Raise your glass to the names they betrayed. Mirrors cracked, reflections are liars. Ashes fall where the guilty once stood. The jukebox hums like a funeral choir. Echoes pounding through the neighborhood. Every scar is a candlelit vow. We hug the how, we demand the now. No more silence, no more disguise. We'll paint the night with sharpened cry. At the TruCrime Cafe, we serve up the pain they try to hide away. Pour another cup of the truth you crave. Raise your glass to the names they betrayed. This is not a sermon, it's a battlefield hymn, a requiem dripping from the bottle's rim. The guilty write stories in invisible ink, but we'll drag it all up from the edge of the break. At the TruCrime Cafe, the reckoning burns like a black bouquet. Every shadow will pay.
All right, all right, all right, all right. Welcome back to the cafe. Everybody, good to see you today. Thank you for joining us. I hope you guys are having a great weekend and a great Sunday. Somebody has to. Great to see you all here. Thank you for joining us today. And welcome back. Today, guys, it's an open discussion. I've had a lot of requests about what did I think about this and that with that interview last night in the verdict room. Well, I'm tired of typing, so we're going to do a show and just discuss it. Everybody has the option, excuse me, to voice their opinions, feelings, as always, because I want everybody to have a voice. So that's what we're doing. And then whatever else we get into with it as well. And we won't be here too long because I'm going to try to run a secondary show tonight from Cafe Conspiracy. And tonight, we're going to jump into Miss Marilyn Monroe and the conspiracy behind her death, if you guys are interested, over at Cafe Conspiracy. So we shall see. We shall see. So it's just a wide open discussion. I will pin a link. You're welcome to join me. We'll discuss different points and issues within last night's interview. Please feel free to join me. That goes for anybody. Mikey, you're welcome to join me as well if you have anything to discuss. Anybody. Anybody. So that's what we're going to do. Let's see who we got joining us. Mikey's in the house. Miss Candy's in the house. Roe is in the house. Zippity double Z. Good back. Welcome back. Good to see you. Ms. Lori. Miss Crime Nachos or Crime and Chaos. Welcome back. Miss Becca, welcome. I hope you're feeling better, Miss Becca. Always thoughts and prayers for you. That's what you've been going through. Aquamarine, welcome back to you. Welcome, G Bean. Good to see you. Simply Solo, welcome. Smiling Sleuth, great to see you again. Crop, good to see you. Baby Ames, welcome to you. Nutmeg 75, welcome. Is it pronounced Eriday? Welcome to you. Sleuthy's in the house. Welcome home, Sleuthy. Great to see you. Miss Caron, good to see you today. Morgan Beaters, welcome back. Great to see you. K Kaz, welcome back. Sweet Peas in the house. Miss Deb 68. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Blue-eyed butterfly flittering in. Good to see you. Rooster Cake, I do remember you. Welcome. Now that we are not doing the verdict room, I do have a link pinned. If you're interested in speaking on anything, you're welcome to join us up here. Charlotte Derner, welcome. Moonlit Musing is great to see you. The Fly on the Wall, welcome back. Great to see you. Tiki Bars in the house, welcome, welcome. Blue Devil, good to see you. Great to have you here. Shane, welcome back, my friend. Judy Studios, you as well. Gray, oh my God, I'm jealous. Judy, that sounds so good. What I would give for some real food. God. What I would give for some real food. I'm telling you guys. Kathy Buhner, welcome. I can't wait for my life to go back into normal order. Pokey Dots, whoa. Good to see you. Mad Chad, welcome, my friend. Deb Tutro, good to see you. Deb 68, I think I already said hello. Welcome anyway. You get a double welcome. I hope you guys enjoyed the Mariah song about snaps, straps, and butt plugs, and that came from their own interview. Sammy T, good to see you today. Let me see here. And of course, Mikey with the last 24, our partner in crime over at the verdict room. Good to see you, brother. Again, Miss Becca, I hope you're doing well, dear. Tomboy's in the house. Anna D, welcome to you. And of course, Miss Accomplished Day, welcome, dear. Thank you for joining us. K Dibs, welcome back. Good to see you. The Canadian cat litter all the way cat lady, not cat litter. Cat lady all the way from up north. Good to see you. Heaven, Iowa. Welcome to you. Hey Jack, great to see you again. Thank you, Sleuty, for the cafe conspiracy link for tonight's show for later. The cats, meow meow. Good to see you today. That sheet, cray cray. Good to see you. Probably about 8:30. That sheet. Lynn May, welcome to you. And thanks to Mr. Dillon Jr. himself, helped me figure out how to separate my channels. I'm grateful. I understand, Becca. Well, I'm grateful that you're here with us and you're not alone. And you know we got your back and fully support all of us, sending prayers and thoughts to you, hoping that you get through this a little easier. You are welcome, Batsheet. Great to see you today. Thank you for joining us. You are absolutely welcome, and you are special. You're all special. Lexi, welcome, dear. Thank you, Ro, for that. Again, I want to thank and re-explain as I have been doing so that people don't think I'm going to get kind of called this anyway, but I don't care. Anybody that has chosen to support us, whether via our Venmo, PayPal, and Cash App, these links right here. Every bit of that is going towards my family and I's move. We found a home that we're moving into, thank the Lord, hopefully. But it's expensive because we have closing costs on it, so on and so forth. So every dime that is made from donations based on that, and that's these links and these links alone, is going to be going to that. And it's kind of expensive. We have a goal of up to $2,000, unfortunately, to cover all that. So don't, if you want to support us in that sense, don't send it super chat or super sticker or any of that because we won't get that till next month, and YouTube takes almost 50% of that. If you want to send it to support us that way to help us, please send it to any of these links here. And we have just a little bit. People have been sending little bits and pieces, and it's very much appreciated. You have no idea. My entire family, there's no words for it. So if you want to help in that aspect, that is the way to do it. It is very much appreciated. Of course, never expect it. We don't expect it from you just because you're here. The only thing I do ask is everybody that is in here to please hit the like button and share this out. That's all. Anything beyond that is totally up to you and how you feel about the community, the channel, myself. So thank you. I know, so that will be posted within here multiple different times, I'm sure. That way anybody that needs it can get it. Skill is in the house. Welcome back. Mittens for Kittens. Great to see ya. Miss, let me see something here. Hold on a minute. All right. Sorry. That was the wife. Bubbles is in the house. Welcome, Bubbles. Thank you, Skilla, for those jewels. God bless and appreciate it. Miss Rowe, good to see you. Sylvia Hurley, welcome. I know some other peeps just jumped on in here. Congrats and welcome to the sauce. Heaven Iowa. Another meatball jumping in with us. Kelly Coker, great to see you. It's been a while. That sounds good, Rooster. Appreciate that. Get yourself all cleaned up. Don't worry. I'm clean too. I showered and I smell good. Yep. You don't have to worry about me stinking up here. Let me see here. Dylan Hildreth Jr.'s in the house. Good to see you, buddy. One of our other partners in crime on the verdict room last night. Did a great job. Great show. It was long because of that damn interview, but it was great. D. Smith, welcome. Wonderful to see you. Karen Polka's welcome back. Let's see. Pokey Doc. Pokey Dots. Good to see you in here. Whoa. Accomplished day again. Good to see you. Tomboy Charm. I think I've hit everybody. If I haven't, I will catch up. The Mad Dog's in the house. Row, 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 row. There's Miss Tandy. Julie Tyler, welcome. We have some combo to have about some of these comments I see you guys making because I feel the same way. Oh, you're a lurker, huh? He's a coward. No, he's just lurking. I'm just kidding. Welcome to the lurkers as well. You're all very much appreciated. Turkey Creek Gal, great to see you. Give everybody a few minutes to jump on in. And there is a link pinned in the chat should you choose to join us to discuss anything about last night or anything else you want to, please do. Sweet Melissa, welcome. Good to see you. Mimi, welcome back. Take your time, Rooster. No hurries, no rush. Bubbles is in the house. All right. Agreed. Jules is quite awesome. I do agree. Jules got a strike while during her live after. Are you serious? Oh, they were probably watching her on purpose. They don't like her at all, and they purposely go after her. And good. I'm glad she won too. That's ignorant. Because she's angry and she's telling the truth. They don't like that. Sorry. And we're gonna get into that. And hey, at least I know that if I get one, that I can fight it as well. Is she really? Really, Mike? Oh boy. I see you, Miss Melissa. I do see you, sweet Melissa, when you're in here. Sometimes it takes a while for you to roll through, but I do see you and welcome, dear. It's wonderful to have you here. Yeah, they do absolutely hate her because she's called them out from day one on their bullshit. So thank you, Bubs. Thank you for those of you moderators that are here taking time out of your Sundays to join us. It is very much appreciated. Crazy Italian lady, congratulations and happy Digiversary, dear, on 3 whole months. That's awesome. That calls for a little bit of a celebration from our friend Manny. All right, all right. Thank you again, Crazy Italian lady, for being part of this family, this community. We appreciate you so very much. And happy Digiversary as well. Hello, Cotty. Agreed. Good point. Very good point. All right, let's see what we got going on here. Hang on here just a minute. Oh, seems like we have company coming. I'm coming. I'm coming. Keep your pants on. Welcome, Sweet Pea.
Hey, how are you?
How are you?
Good. I love your. I always mean to tell you that I love your live on air sign behind you.
Oh, this.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like that thing. That's
Yeah,
what.
I got. When I get moved into my new office, my studio area is going to have all sorts of stuff. It's going to look a lot nicer.
That's awesome.
This is a mess.
No, I do love
Because I'm moving. Like, if you could see the rest of the room around me, I'm surprised there's not an echo. It's almost empty. It's a mess. Things are everywhere and stuff. It's crazy. We're just moving things into a storage unit because we don't know what's going to happen time-wise. So, and or if, just saying. Let me see here. All right. Looks like. Let me see.
Hi, Anna.
I got somebody else coming to the door. Wanted to join us. If you don't want to leave your camera on, you do not have to. It's up to you, whatever you're comfortable with. Let me see here. All right, Rooster. Is that what we call you, as Rooster? Can you hear me?
How's
Okay.
it going?
It is going. Welcome,
Yeah,
sir.
can
Is
you
that
hear
what?
me?
Yeah.
How's it
Do
going?
we call you? Do we call you Rooster?
Yeah, that's
I think
fine.
Okay. Welcome, sir. It's great to have you here.
Nice to be
Rooster.
here. Thank you for the welcome and invite.
Of course. We met Rooster last night on the verdict room, and I told him that he's welcome to join us on a regular show. That way I have full control of the panel. It's not just my community. You know what I mean? So, yeah, but it's great to have somebody different here interested in talking about some things they experienced. And, we have somebody else coming to the door. Hold on a minute.
Give me 1 second. I got to fix something.
Take your time. Welcome, Tomboy. How are you?
Hey, good. I'm just gonna come up. I'm gonna come up here and say something real quick, and then I'm gonna hop down because I got noisy going on in the background.
Oh, you're fine.
Sweet Pea GB, I need to apologize because I think we figured out the problem. It's this fucking YouTube translator. Because Tandy just typed, "Hey tomboy," and it came up, "Hey lesbian."
Oh my God!
Are you serious?
The fuck is my name being translated to lesbian? Who fixed that?
What was it doing to my name?
Well, but tomboy, they're making tomboy equal the word lesbian is what they're doing. Like,
hang on, Rooster.
Who did that? That's my question. Somebody did that.
Who did that?
That is it. Okay, so YouTube's homophobes now?
Or whoever's translating this.
And how do they know that? That is insane. Because I know SRB has been struggling with, like, just typing my name and something else comes up.
What was it?
Oh, go ahead.
What would Dagos come up?
I don't know. Yeah, gee, that's what it's saying.
Yeah, last time it would come up as different things.
Well, that makes some things make some sense, but good God Almighty, are you dead serious?
Well, thank you for coming up here, Tomboy.
Oh yeah, she would always do that.
Oh, I know she would, but I do want to thank you, dear, because of course we love you. I'm so for real, like we really do.
But that's still like I want to know.
Bullshit. I want to know. That really pisses me off. So
like who at YouTube?
Wait, are y'all
doing
saying
this?
that?
Go ahead, bud.
Brother, they did it to me. I'm here to tell you. You can click on my name, and I used to have a really big gaming channel, and they just didn't want me in that sector. They didn't want me competing with the people that I guess sucked some of the CEOs of YouTube off for their position. And my channel was shrank. People couldn't find it. They would not spread my videos, my shorts. If you step on the right or the wrong toes, you out the door, brother. So I support what you.
You got shadow banned. Yeah.
Bubbles, it did because Zippity typed, "Hey tomboy," and it came up, "Hey lesbian."
Oh
my God. Well, thank you for. I'm sure Jeebs appreciates the apology as well as the whole misunderstanding being straightened out. And Jeebs, she says thank you. I truly appreciate that. And Jeebs, thank you for understanding. And Tomboy, I'm sorry that happened to you because that's still horrifying that your name is attached to that. That's disgusting.
I mean, I don't have a problem with it.
But you should. And I'm filing a formal complaint with YouTube about that because you're one of my moderators. That's highly insulting, and that's the lawsuit if you ask me.
Now, Tomboy, are they tagging?
That is.
Is that like your tag, or is that like when does it like automatically?
It is.
I don't know. You'd have to ask Zippity. I don't know if
There's
Zippity
nothing
tagged me
about
earlier.
there's nothing about being a lesbian in her tag. Nothing.
No, well, I know, but no, I mean, like, if it's like, you know how you can tag the actual
Like
person,
the
versus
at.
typing it in, the
Yeah,
at.
yeah.
Like, does the at, whenever you do that, does it actually have tomboy charm, or is that where that comes from?
No,
is it-
I'm guessing it just comes up tomboy.
Yeah, somebody just said hi, tomboy. Put them together, like tomboy, like one word. Everybody's trying to make me.
I'm typing it now, and it comes up hi tomboy.
Oh, yours is one word. Put tomboy as one word.
Maybe if I could spell, right?
Right, that would, yeah, you know.
Yeah, that would work. See, I don't know.
See,
Yeah, see, it's working.
Tomboy, somebody said, did the at symbol. It's converting it when it translates.
I will get right to you, Rooster. My apologies, brother. Hang loose, please.
Oh, yeah.
Take your time.
Yeah, I understand this. Maybe it's just, I don't know.
Crazy. But we love you. And
Tandy took a screenshot of it, so.
Wait, they're saying in the chat it's
know.
changing.
Yeah.
SRB said in the chat, see, I see it as tomboy, but is it on the YouTube side or the StreamYard side?
I don't see it on StreamYard.
I don't see it anywhere, but you see it differently, SRB? Wow, this is fucked up, you guys.
Yeah, it is.
It's kind of funny though, but I mean,
not really.
If you want to,
because other people were involved, but but it's really not funny at all because there's
not that part of it. No, just the
irony of it.
Yeah, if that's all you can throw at me and direct at me,
right?
Yeah, you're right.
God.
Yeah, I mean that's still it. I'm pissed, homeboy. I mean, I'm pissed. You know that I'm pissed.
Yes, Bubba said check Discord.
I'm looking.
Yeah, that's total bullshit. I wonder if somebody has to manually go in and do that or what that is about.
It has to be. It has to be somebody doing it. A robot or a bot's not going to do that. No, I see it. I still looks like tomboy to me in the Discord the screenshot, SRB. Why is it our eyes? What the hell?
I don't know what's happening. Is this the blue dress thing?
Is it a matrix? Is it a matrix glitch?
Ro deleted Zippity's comment earlier.
Probably because
on my side it came up, hey lesbian, and I'm like, what? Or shy lesbian, and I'm like, what?
Shy lesbian?
Yeah.
It sounds like YouTube has a glitch. Maybe it is their bots, but that word, for it to be that word, are you serious?
Well, it's stupid. Yeah, and like it's not even. It's stupid. It's.
Let me try something.
Yeah, that needs to be immediately.
Can y'all hear me?
Is it a cell phone versus a computer thing?
I keep getting kicked. I don't know what the problem is.
Are you on your phone?
Oh, I hear you. You're good. You're frozen though, bro. You're frozen. Can you hear me? You might need to reload. It looks like an internet issue. You're loading and buffering. We know you didn't say it, Zippity. Don't worry about it. It's okay. It's not you. We figured out the issue, but it's not.
Oh, God. Now Zippity is getting broken.
No, Zippity. There's nothing. No. We figured it out, so it's not you.
Good. You're good.
Can you hear me, Rooster?
Yeah, I can. So what it is I live in Louisiana, and it's a horrible storm right now. And I was trying to go back and forth on that. So I think that's what it could have been. But take your time. I apologize for that.
No. Don't apologize. Richie's saying, can mods and creators program? I don't know how to do anything like that. I never thought so. But it has to be coming through because anytime somebody types something, it goes through the StreamYard and the YouTube.
SRB said, see it. It just did it to Pookie.
Pokey? Did you do it, Pokey? I typed shy tomboy and it said shy two boy. It left off the M. That could have been me though. I don't see where it did it with Pokey though.
Yeah, this is some. This is. We got a rogue bot somewhere
That's what
who
it
doesn't
sounds like.
who clearly does not like lesbians or Dago.
Or both.
I like lesbians. My sister's a lesbian.
I claimed to everybody that I'm a lesbian.
Hey, you
I'm a
cannot
lesbian,
be.
brother. I'm telling you right now. Women are God's greatest creation.
Yes, sir. Amen to that
So,
one, brother.
so you're both lesbian dinosaurs. I gotcha.
Yes. Thank you, Witchy, for that. Appreciate you, dear.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, yes. Women are amazing. Awesome, Julie. Appreciate that. It's random and they need to fix it. It is a glitch. It's got to be a glitch, you guys. It is. And I'm filing a formal complaint to the big people that one of my moderators was called this by your bots or whatever. It's not okay. It's not okay.
Yes, that's great that you would be able to do it.
I will. I'm going to do a phone call. That's the problem.
Good. Yeah. There you go.
This
That's how you
is
handle it.
because who knows what's happening in other chats with other people. You know, it just that's ridiculous. I'm sorry. And I think that now I'm starting to wonder if it's run by an AI text app, if their bots are run
Dago,
by
I'm just
AI
gonna tell
text
you
app.
something. When this cat hears your voice, look at this.
Hey,
She's
kitty,
being
kitty,
pissed. Go away.
kitty, kitty,
Oh my
kitty.
God, you're so cute.
What are you doing, kitty girl?
Hi, honey.
Oh, she wants your attention. That's why.
Aw.
She knows that my voice attracts your attention away from her. Kitty, kitty, kitty. She does not look happy at all. She's
Hi,
pissed.
baby.
Look at her face, guys. She's mad.
She is mad. She's mad, bro.
She's really pissed right now. What's that one's name? Is that Cat Benatar? Kitty, 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 kitty. Meowsay.
What a good. She's like, okay, fine. Up, nope, back. I'm gonna show you all my butt.
Which one is this?
This is Cat Benatar.
Cat Benatar. That's what I said to her. Look at her. This is what she does to her anytime
Oh
she's
my
over here doing this.
God.
Stop.
She won't leave her alone. She's insane.
That's
All her cats.
sweet.
All
Aw.
her cats do this with her. It's crazy.
My cat.
All
does
right.
it with my
No
husband
nails.
before we go to bed.
Welcome, Miss Ika. Thank you for being here, as well as
This cat
Donna.
does this all day long.
Oh my God, I could not even imagine. Look
Well, now that we have figured out this problem, again, I'm sorry for all the drama that has been created, and if any, the insulting for people. I'm even though it's not my fault or anybody's at this point, I'm horribly sorry to Tomboy. She doesn't deserve that type of thing happening to her. And Jeebs, my apologies to you for having to deal with this as well, and Sweet Pea for having to be involved as well.
Yeah,
But
I
again,
agree with Bubbles. It's not happening just in here. It happens in other chats.
Yeah, it happened last night. Bubbles was saying, and we had three different communities linked together. So through dual streaming, I wonder if it's actually StreamYard and not YouTube. Do you know what I mean? If it's happening in multiple platforms, I don't know. But I'm still gonna I'm gonna contact YouTube and say, hey, this is a problem and this can't be happening. What if I would have had like a doctor, or not that you're not important, Tomboy, but you know, or an attorney or some big important person on here, and it would have said something like that to that person in the chat or something. You know what I mean? Thank God you're understanding, because that's just bullshit.
You would be setting yourself up for all kinds of stuff.
And for somebody to believe that, like, this is what it is.
Control, yeah.
Remember a week or so ago, everyone's lives kept buffering. Yes. Ever since then, we have been. I wonder if there's somebody hacked into.
Oh, yeah.
That's interesting.
I know. Well, that's what I entertain that.
Interesting point. Interesting point.
Me
Well,
on
I'm glad
social
it's solved. You're welcome, G. We appreciate you. We love you, all of you, and all of you that are here. Thank you. But we are welcoming. I guess we're going to jump into this first, since we have a guest here by the name. He goes by Rooster. He introduced himself to us last evening in the verdict room and had stated that he has some interesting experiences, I should say, from if I'm correct me, sir, from the Moscow, Idaho uh, area within
Town.
the case.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the case that we're
I
covering.
lived there.
And I'm curious. So, welcome,
Not
sir. Thank you again for joining
yeah.
us. And I'm curious to hear what you have to say, my friend. I think
Cool,
there's a
no
bit
problem.
of
So my name
I think
is
we have a delay.
Yeah, we do. I apologize. I don't know if it's my internet. I've never had issues streaming before, but so we'll figure it out. But
We'll work it out. Yeah.
I worked with a gentleman that I was really close with for a number of years. And he is actually from Moscow, Idaho. I won't name him out of respect for him and his family. But his father was a previous
Understood.
like sheriff, prosecutor, like judge, animal control coroner. So the guy was like an all-American, badass. And so
That's
he
how
was
they
big
do
into
it
law
there.
enforcement. I actually met Richie. I met James Fry, and I got to know the town in a way I never thought I'd know it. So I had moved there with my wife and brand new baby, and I was thought, it's a small American town. It would be fun. People would be welcoming. And I was very, very, very wrong. Moscow, Idaho is more like a cult that you have to get accepted into. If you're a student, if you have something to do with what pushes the economy, they are fine with that. Like if you're coming to just get your schooling and go, but if you want to settle and live, and especially what part of town you want to settle and live at, you have to fit a mold, a serious mold of what is accepted to them in that town, or else you are immediately blackballed and stalked. I was stalked by the police. I was given tickets all the time. I would have the baby in the car with me, and they would pull me and my wife over, with their hands on their guns, blocking our car in. Your vehicle was suspicious. You have a headlight out, and there was no headlight out. And we were heading to like an old folks home to have a Christmas party type stuff. I heard from several people in the town that they had witnessed people get blackballed, pushed out, like their businesses destroyed if you didn't meet this mold. So when I saw the Kohberger case, my wife and I come out, we were just like, holy shit, if they were that mean to us, just a young couple trying to find a new home, and a quieter spot, I can only imagine what they would do to somebody else that they have a vendetta or a purpose to screw him over with. You know what I'm saying?
And you said, I think you said, without saying the key words here, Rooster, outsider. You were an outsider that transplanted to this area, and you were not, obviously didn't fit the mold right away. So you were very suspicious to them, per se. And this is why you went through this, right? Oh, looks like his internet's doing it again. It's buffering. Thank you so much, K-Kaz. God bless you. You are very much appreciated. Thank you. Can you hear me, Rooster?
2 hours. Are we there?
2 hours later.
Yeah, I don't think this is a hack. I mean the YouTube bots. There's a rogue YouTube bot somewhere. It's a glitch.
Sounds like it's
somewhere.
a glitch. Yeah, it's a glitch in the system. Can you hear me, Rooster? He's buffering really bad. He might have to drop out and come back in.
Yep.
Yeah, he's having internet issues, obviously. Damn it, because I want to hear his story too.
I know, me too.
And what he just said, Tomboy has told us this is true for 4 years, guys, because she's from this area originally. Nothing's changed, obviously.
Oh no, right.
Can you hear me, Rooster?
Mark Furman is no longer there. Mark Furman passed away.
Yeah, your internet is buffering, which is, I get it. But what you just told me, you obviously didn't hear me because it started buffering. What you're saying, though, is the key words here, which is something we've heard throughout this case. You were an outsider. They don't like outsiders. You transplanted to this area from another area. And because you're an outsider, you become immediately a threat to them. because you don't fit into their mold for what they're doing there. They don't like outsiders, in my opinion, because outsiders can learn. Unfortunately, how can I put this? Outsiders can be a problem for the things that they do if they don't agree with them and fit that mold. That's how I see it. Does that sound about right, Rooster? Looks like he's
Exactly.
buffering. There you go. Yeah,
I,
that's
I
kind of
tried to
a.
kill my video. Was that?
I think. Let me see. Can you hear me?
I'm sorry, guys. I don't mean to mess y'all up. This
You're
storm is
good.
like raging down here right now, and
I get it.
I've never
I
had
get
a
it.
screaming. But yeah, you don't like outsiders, and they will go after you if you're an outsider. And it's not like we had any malicious intent. It wasn't like we tried to buy up any property. It wasn't like we tried to buy up some business that was in somebody's family. I mean, we were just people there trying to live. And the lengths they went through to harass us, the lengths they went through to make us feel unsafe and unwelcome was astronomical. It really was. Like, and it wasn't, it was like,
Go
I
ahead.
would go into a place with an application and they would look at me and go, "We're not hiring you," like directly to my face, and then smile. I'm like, "You don't even know who I am." And he gave me my first and last name. And I was just like, wow. Getting pulled over by cops. I got by a bunch of children once at I got surrounded by some kids for vaping in the mall. And I asked them really nicely. I was like, "Look, I'm with my daughter. She's 3 months old. Y'all are blowing vape smoke at her. Could you please just not do that?" And from there, it turned into getting followed at the mall, having a car surrounded by a bunch of kids. The kid had threatened to gut me and had a knife on him. I called the police. The police showed up and threatened to arrest me. And what I noticed, get this, hold on. And I had all this on tape. I still do on a hard drive. Before the cops came to talk to me, 2 cop cars pulled up and went to the children that I'd called the police on and sat with them. One of the children that threatened me, his dad was a cop. So the police showed up and told me, none of the, like, "You're going to leave." They said they didn't do it. I'm like, "But the kid's got a knife on him and he threatened to stab me." "Well, it's only between you and him. So you just got to go." So I was forced to leave. I was seriously stalked and harassed after that. And I think the only reason why that didn't get worse is because a couple of months before that happened, a Moscow PD police officer's son was charged with murder for kidnapping a kid in Washington, Pullman, Washington, and dragging him to Troy, Idaho, and murdering him. So the police children was wilding the fuck out for months that we were there. I'm talking months. You know what I'm saying? And
wow.
From that one incident, we learned that once you're marked, like once you get that sign, I don't know if you ever seen the movie Time Machine when those people came out the ground. Okay, we felt like we had that stuff spit on us, and we were just marked. Like everywhere we went, we were known. We'd go to a cafe, and they just would not service. We would go to a place to get our car worked on, and they couldn't touch it because they were too full. So I mean, that town, it was so creepy. It got me closer to Jesus Christ after I left. And it's very Masonic. Like they have Masonic graveyards there, right? Like there's a lot of Masonic symbolism, Saturn symbolism all through the town. Like all through the town, dude. I know no one really talked about this. And that's what really got me fucked up was we were like, you know what they did to us, their whole town is on blast now. Like, they don't want nobody in it. And now it's like seeing it. There was a couple of videos we saw of some guy like taking video of that house that it happened in, or like spots, and they were getting surrounded. Like, "Get the fuck out of here! This is Moscow. We don't want new people in Moscow. Like this isn't your town. Like, don't come here for this." So I'm surprised that aspect of that town hasn't been brought up not once by anybody.
You know what? It's interesting you said that, because one of the other creators I work with, he's got another channel out here called Welcome, Hello, Beyonce. Devil's Advocate.
Kitty Purry.
Or Kitty Purry, I'm sorry.
She's never on camera.
Devil's Advocates went to Moscow. He went to the site that the house used to stand on. He pulled up with his wife in the car in front of the house, okay? He got out of his car, kind of stretched a little bit, looked around. He had a body cam on. He was wearing it on his chest, and a truck
I can't hear you, bud. I think the video was what's breaking me up.
How about now? Anything now? Is that better?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay.
Perfect.
So Lee shows up at the house, and he gets out of his car, stretched. He said, like, it's been a drive, and starts looking around, and a pickup truck comes from the direction of the Sigma Chi frat house. pulls up right next to him, like hauls ass up there, and there's 3 guys in the bed of the truck. 2 guys jump out, and the guy kind of chests up to him and says, "Who the fuck are you?" And he was like, my name's Lee. Why?" He was like, "What are you doing here?" He's like, "I used to live here." And he goes, "Really? Where?" And he's like, "Well, I lived over in the Washington. This ain't Washington. This is Idaho. What are you doing here?" And he like told his wife, looked over and said, "Lock the door." And she did.
Yeah.
And he was like, "What is this shit?" And he like shoved him in his chest or something on his camera. He was like, "It's just what I do, you know?" He's like, "Yeah, you need to get the fuck out of here. You don't belong here. This is not your town. You need to leave now." Lee was like, All right, dude, I don't want nothing." And he got back in the
Yeah.
car and he turned around and he pulled out however you get out of there. And then as soon as I think he said he got on Walenta. When he got on Walenta, a cruiser pulled up behind him and followed him all the way out of town, bro, until he got on the city limits. The car backed up or turned around and took off. But they never pulled him over. They never did anything. But that cruiser followed him all the way out of town. Now, what you just said equals the same damn thing to me. This is weird shit, bro. Weird. And I've never heard of anything like this beyond. Well, yes, I have. Yes, we have. The only other place I've heard of things like this is happening in Delphi, Indiana. The same exact thing. Bless you. Can you hear me? You still there? Who's sneezing?
Yo,
Are
Tandy
you there?
sneezed. Tandy sneezed.
Bless you, Tandy.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Did you hear everything I just said?
Yeah, I did. I heard it, and I believe it because when we left Idaho and went to Pullman, Washington, because we were leaving, we were like, we cannot take this no more. We had rented an apartment, and within 24 hours, the job that my wife had, that I had, we were fired from, and within I think 30 seconds after us getting fired consecutively, the phone rang, and it was the apartment saying, "We know you don't have jobs, so now we have to rescind it." They took our $1,200 deposit, right? We had a 2-year-old, 3-year-old at the time. They took our deposit, so we gave away everything that we had that wasn't like the clothes on our back and the essentials, and drove. My homies came and picked us up. One of my buddies from the biker clubs picked us up, and we went to Pullman, Washington. As soon as we got to Pullman, Washington, they texted me telling me they knew where I was.
Who?
Like that whole, like, I'm not even friends with the person, dude. The person that I got in town with, like how I got there, what got me to the town, Charles, that guy was not, like, he was a cool dude at first, but the whole rest of the town just seemed like they didn't like me, and then he turned against me. So it was like the hive mind exists. It really did feel like some Children of the Corn shit, or it felt like some, I don't know how to explain it, but it was very, 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 very creepy. It was very weird, enough to the spot to the where I had to get my family who was involved in law enforcement to like track us to make sure we were good. Because I was like, look, if we come up missing or we die, these are the people you go investigate.
Wow. All right. So I got one more story to tell you that lines in with this. 3 years ago, another creator was out here by the name of Rory. I'm not going to throw his last name out, but he had a channel called Thou Shalt Not Kill. Rory went boots on the ground to the area, and it was very quickly after the murders had happened, within months. Okay. So he goes there, he walks the entire neighborhood, and you're gone. Okay. Hold on. I'll wait for him to come back to explain this. But most of you that are here with us, that have been here with us, there's our Fizzness. Good to see you, Fizzy. Thanks for being here, dear. I hope you're doing well. And Candace Morin, welcome. Julie Tyler, wonderful to see you. Legal Swag, welcome. Miss Aika, good to see you. Wounded Puma, welcome. Love and Other Habits, great to see you. Creamy Row, welcome back. L Price, Verity Lane, Tattoo Gal. I think I'm getting everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I feel bad. This dude really wanted to tell his story, and he's having a horrible storm right now.
That was what I was going to do next. Luther was asking about what he thinks happened, or that was going to be my question.
what for dinner? I don't know what you want. What you doing?
Hi, Michelle.
All right, Michelle, good to see you. Thank you for being here. Astastic, welcome, welcome. I hope he's able to come. He may have got knocked out completely if there's a storm going, so we'll move around a little bit till he comes back. Jesse Lynn, moving forward, good to see you. Stephen King is the man, period.
For real.
Everything I own, once I get moved into my new studio office, whatever, you guys will see my Stephen King collection behind me. I'll have it set up that way. So I love Stephen King. Love him. Itty bitty, good to see you.
The Shining is one of my favorite books and then movies, but
Everything he wrote. There's nothing he wrote. I don't think there is anything I don't like. Book wise. Some of the movies turned out really
some
bad.
of the movies, yeah, I will agree with that. Some of them have been kind of just they're like, well, they were made for TV, like mini series type things, you know. And so
Yeah, some of those were weak. I agree.
Yeah.
Very much.
Misery.
So.
Oh, Misery's crazy.
Thank you, Michelle, and welcome. Whoever received that new membership, welcome to the source. Great to have you on board in the family. I'm just floored with this guy's conversation, what he's told us already, because Roy went through the same thing. Lee went through the same thing. I know Jonathan, he went through it, but Jonathan's different. Jonathan was getting up in people's faces, JLR, and causing problems. I think Olivia, before she was even close to the Goncalves family, Olivia, I'll call her, she had some, and her and Bullhorn had some threats and problems. They don't like us at all out there, but they don't like anybody. It seems like anybody that's not from this area, they don't like them. Lana had a little bit of problems, but you know, Lana doesn't take shit. So, is Moto in the house?
Because they were driving around and had follow them.
Did Moto show up in here?
Yeah, I saw him for a second, I think.
I see it, Pokey. Congrats and welcome to the sauce, Polka Dot. Love it. Thank you again for that. Welcome, Labs. Good to see you. Simply Solo, welcome. Moto Man, good to see you, brother. Thank you for being here. Well, hopefully Rooster's able to jump back in here at some point to finish telling. But Rory, for those of you that are not familiar, the creator from Thou Shalt Not Kill, just real quick, decided to go do a boots on the ground show. We all kind of intermingled and figured out what was going to happen. He went live, and me and another creator were live streaming him as well with our communities because we weren't there with him. So we did it live with him. He walked around that area. He checked for echoes. This is how I know there's other cameras there. We checked for cameras. He looked at the house, did this, did that, walked around the apartment buildings, just looked for different things. He also went to the Jack in the Box, had some no luck with that, this and that. But then he went to the Corner Club, and he had a laptop with him, and he went, ordered a drink. They all looked at him when he walked in. That happened, of course, but no big deal. He's a stranger. So he orders his drink, and he goes out on the back patio, because I think you have to go out there to smoke. Sat down at a picnic table. When he walked in, there was a guy standing on, and I know who it is now. He was standing on the opposite side of the fence, as I call doing a Wilson, one of these jobs, looking at him over the fence. All right, Tomboy. Welcome, Saber Sleuth, my favorite uncle, or your favorite uncle. Good to see you. Anyway, and he goes and sits down by himself off to the side. Well, this whole time, and by the way, the guy's name was another Jack. It was a football player for Idaho. Okay. I know his last name. I just can't think of it, but we figured it out after the fact. So there's our Mama Bear. Good to see you, Mama Bear. Thank you for being here, dear. I hope you're doing well. We missed you so very much. And Musical Contessa, good to see you. Just me, 67. Welcome. So as Rory's sitting there, he loads up his laptop, turns it on, and he kind of links in with us. We're all sitting here talking to him, everything, you know. And then Jack, I can't think of this Jack's last name. This is the Jack that told a lie and said that he used somebody as an alibi and said he was at their house when he wasn't. He was nowhere to be found. Nobody knows where he was, but claimed he was at this house that that mama, basically WSU mom's, she called his little live out, was supposed to be there with his girlfriend, and he wasn't. He was somewhere else. Nobody knows where he was. But he said that's where he was, and that was his alibi for that night. Yeah, there's like 5 Jacks, guys. It's crazy. But anyway, so somebody in the chat will probably welcome Robbie Smith. I know the last name. I just can't think of it at this point. Hold on 1 minute.
People are saying it's Katovich.
No, it's not. It's not Jack Katovich. It's a different one. But this guy is on the other side of the fence, like I'm saying, and it was Roy kind of noticed out of his peripheral that this guy kept eyeballing him, and then he went like this, and like pointed in Roy's direction. Next thing you know, one of the owners, I guess there's more than one, of the corner club walked over and said, "Can I help you with something?" Roy was like, "No, I'm good, thanks." He was like, "What the fuck are you doing here?" And he was like, I'm having a drink. And the guy closed his laptop. We were live with him when he did it, and all of a sudden it went dead. The guy closed his laptop, and he was like, "No." He grabbed Rory's drink and dumped it out, put the glass down on the table, and Rory said he kind of put his hand up under the back of his arm, and he didn't hurt him, but he like pushed up on it a little bit and said, "You need to go." Rory said, "What are you talking about? I need to go." He's like, "You're not welcome here. You need to leave now. Get your shit and get the fuck out of this bar." Roy said he stood up and he was like, "Okay, calm down." Grabbed his laptop. And he goes, "You didn't even let me finish my drink I paid for." He was like, "You'll be fine. Get the fuck out." And he walked him to the door and got to the door. The guy stepped out the door, or Rory walked out the door and turned around. The guy said, "Don't fucking come back again." Off he went. And I'm thinking, and as he was walking by, leaving, this Jack guy that was behind the fence kind of looked at him with this look as a warning, per se, I guess you could say. And I was like, I can't believe it. And then he just said what he said. Lee told us his story. We've seen other things happen. Something's not right with this area, folks. I'm sorry. And I think we're kind of on the right path in the direction that we think. But again, like I said, you guys, the only other time I've seen something like this happen is in Delphi, Indiana, and it's the same type situation. They don't want outsiders there. And you guys know that word outsider came up many, many times in this case about Bryan. It had to be an outsider. One of our people wouldn't do this. It's an outsider. Blah, 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 blah.
Yep.
Something's wrong. And just, like, as Mikey would say, something is wrong here. Okay?
The hills have eyes shit. Exactly.
It is. It's insane. Like, they want and I think it's because they do things the way they do. So if somebody comes in that's not one of them, and you guys remember when I said, and I said it the way I said it because I said it. I said this town is inbred. And SRB likes to fix it and say that it's intermingled and all that. But no, everybody's related to everybody, and they all work together within the government, and everybody knows this one and that one and this person and this one and that. It's in crazy. It's nuts.
It's the deliverance.
Do what?
It's the deliverance.
Of some sense. I mean, they don't want you there because they do things the way they do things. They know that the way they do things is wrong, and a stranger coming in would throw a kink in the chain, if that makes any sense.
Well, of course. And also the fact that if you're doing shady shit, you don't want outsiders peeking around because you don't know why they're there. They could be, they probably are super paranoid. If you're doing shady shit, you don't want people there that you don't know.
Yes. I've never in my life seen, I live in a small town. I've been in small town. This is the worst thing I've ever seen happen coming from a small town, guys. I'm going to start singing a John Cougar Mellencamp song here pretty soon. But I'm just telling you, it's not cool shit.
Holy shit.
At all. and it's scary. It's very scary because it tells you, and we know that it's linked to the university. The university runs it. The university runs the town, in my opinion. 100%. Uh-oh, we got another guy. Is it Rooster?
I'm glad you got that doorbell fixed.
Yeah, I know. Especially listening to that damn door being kicked in. Good evening, Miss Realized. How are you?
Good evening. How are you? How's it going, Sweet Pea?
Hey,
Doing good.
Realize. Doing good.
Good.
So it's interesting because it took me back to hearing an interview with Mr. Goncalves. Thank you so much, Tattoo Gal. 1 minute here.
Yeah, we got to get Manny in here.
Yes, of course.
Mm.
1 minute here. I agree, G. I agree. It's gonna, but here's the thing: is if they keep it within the community, is it gonna blow up though?
That's what I'm scared about, Dago.
There you go, G. Well, that's what I worry about as well. Honest to God. Oh, somebody else coming in. 1 minute.
You should get the soundbite for what do you call it? For Mrs. Doubtfire.
Oh, hello.
Yeah,
Yes.
the hello.
That would be funny. Hello, Tomboy. Welcome
Okay.
back.
Love that movie.
Me too.
Yeah, Robin Williams is amazing.
Yes.
But
I always loved him.
if you guys remember when we kind of first met the Goncalves, when they first did some of their first interviews, they started talking about when and why they moved to Idaho. They're from California, okay?
Yeah, isn't that weird that they were able to transplant?
Well, I think there's something behind that. I'll be honest with you. And I know
Don't get me on that.
I was just gonna say, Tomboy's here. They showed up. Okay, think about what Steve does. He's an IT guy.
Yeah,
And he also said something last night that really blew my mind. The man said he owns 80 acres. That's a whole lot of acreage, folks.
That's a lot of land.
is a lot.
He lives in Rathdrum. He doesn't live in Moscow, but he lives in Rathdrum. I don't know this area. You guys, some of you guys know better than me, but that's a lot of acreage. That means you got an estate, bro. You have a lot of space, a lot of land. I'm probably, from what I've seen, a very nice house. There's a boat involved somewhere. They have money, okay?
And
When
back
they
to the
came
taxes,
here,
too.
yeah,
Taxes.
exactly. When they came here, I do not believe they had that money. Was
Yeah,
it 8
I heard
acres or
8
80?
acres, not 80. 8.
Was it 8 acres? Okay, my apologies. Well,
That's
still,
still a lot
8
of-
acres
that's
is
still
still a lot of land, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Definitely
80 I was-
different from 80, but it's
I
still
was
a
thinking
lot.
80 acres is probably half the damn town. Jesus. I'm glad you corrected
There
me, though.
are transplanters to southern Idaho, not a lot in northern Idaho.
Yeah, they live in Rathdrum, which is
Yeah,
close
they
to
live in
Coeur
Rathdrum,
d'Alene.
which is north.
Right. Coeur d'Alene, right?
Hold on. Due west of Coeur d'Alene.
Okay. So, it said Steve G was from Oregon. First,
Yes, he has ties in Stevenson, Washington, Longview, Washington. He could have ties in Oregon.
well, he said he moved here because he loved this area. And one of the reasons why he said he moved here was because Idaho has the death penalty. That was one of the reasons why they said they moved here. And I'm like, I'll be damned if I move someplace because they have the death penalty.
Diabolical. That's diabolical, Dago.
Who lives on the outskirts of Boise?
I don't know.
Yeah, the Rathdrum is north.
Jesse, what's going on?
Rathdrum is literally an
Good
hour
evening,
from
everybody.
the Canadian border.
Welcome, Jess. Yeah, I just don't get it.
What?
Oh.
Wait, hold on. I'm trying to picture something. Jesse,
Yes.
What the fuck are you drinking?
Coffee?
Is that decaf?
Oh.
Certainly
Hell
is not.
freezing over somewhere?
Certainly is not decaf. I drank my share of wine last night. I'm back on a fast for
Jesse
4 days.
Jesse does not drink anything that is not leaded. I don't care if it's alcohol, coffee, whatever. It always has to be leaded with something.
What is it
I
leaded
drink
with, Jesse?
water with electrolytes.
Mm-hmm.
There you go, bud. I get it. So anyway, it's interesting to me that they do not like people from outside of their community. So there's something about Steve that makes him part of the community, I'll say, and his family. And that's all I was saying with that. They're very well accepted. They're very well welcomed. And they're very well known. I know his wife comes from a very well-to-do family as well. I don't know where they're from. But and I'm not going to get into all that. That's not my business. But what I'm saying is that one of the some of the things that he said brought him to this area. Well, that was one of them, the death penalty. That's his from his own mouth. But other things, I'm sure. Okay, we know all about his brother.
Idaho has always had the death penalty.
Right. Well, that was one of the reasons why. That's a good point, Tattoo. That reminds me of the Stepford Wives type community, if it means anything, if you guys know what that is. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, he does. He says his community all the time. Like, you're a transplant too, but you're so comfortable here that this is your community at this point, and we get it. Okay, it's
I'm
great.
pretty sure when he says his community, he's referring to white people.
Well,
Yeah.
it kind of sounds that way in a lot of
I'm
senses.
gonna confer with you there, Jesse.
Yeah, and it's very disheartening. So, unfortunately, and this is partly what we're talking about today, we all got to watch this interview. It took us 5 hours to review last night, and it pissed a bunch of us off. But we did get to meet some of us for the first time, the real Steve Goncalves, in my opinion, based on certain things he stated. When he gets angry, I think the mask comes off, and here comes the truth. There's a couple things that pissed me off to no end that blew me right the hell up. And it's hard to hold my tongue. I'll just put it that way. Because I've always tried to give some form of respect because of their loss. Okay. It's a horrible loss. And I still have that. I feel for them for that. But that has been limited now because I can't give you any respect when you don't seem to respect yourself enough to be able to talk to people or to have any kind of compassion. You care about nobody but yourself, in my opinion. And you're not the only person on this planet to ever lose a child. Okay. Many people have had this loss. It's very sad anyway, but they don't treat the rest of the world like garbage and like they're beneath them because of it. You don't get to do that. And that is exactly what they're doing at this point. I don't like this. I don't like what I heard last night. And this is why we're having this discussion today. Because many people said, they go, I can't. This is ignorant. You should talk about this. We need to discuss this. This is a problem. Many, many emails I got and messages I received about this. So thank you, Mikey. Again, thank you to anybody that chooses to support us this way. Jesse, by the way, thank you for your donation, my friend, as well. I wanted you to know I did receive that. Very much appreciated, guys. Everything we received from this on these 3 links here is going directly towards us moving to help us to complete this, to get into our new home. So thank you to anybody that chooses to do it. We do not expect it from you. So please don't think I'm asking for it. I'm just letting you know that it is all appreciated and that is where it's going by all means. And thank you. So
I was kind of hoping that you didn't see that, Dago, because I was hoping it got lost in the multitudes of others. The fact that you've seen it maybe suggests the numbers aren't quite high enough for my liking.
Well, I mean, it is what it is. There's, there was a couple in there, and I do appreciate it very much, Jesse, very much.
Mm-hmm.
More than words could even explain. My whole family does to no end. So thank you so very much.
So
did you
in
get?
the
Go ahead.
in the 80s and 90s, just outside of Rathdrum, the Aryan Nation used to have a compound. Well, they were sued in Kootenai County courts, and they lost. So the judge ordered them to give up to the compound to who they lost to. So those people in turn basically ripped down that Aryan Nation compound and burned it, and then gave the land back to Cooney County. In 2012, there was a petition to build another compound just out between Hayden and Rathdrum. Y'all can go from there.
Interesting.
I didn't know any of this, but it doesn't surprise me. I was just going based on the way that Steve talks and some of the statements he's made about outsiders and foreigners, and he represents himself as pretty obviously xenophobic.
Yeah, well, I mean, people see it how they see it. Here's the thing, Jesse.
But he's not white.
They've created this new foundation in the name of their daughter. And that I fully respect and understand. Do you think you could run a foundation such as and work with people in the world that are not from this area, outsiders, talking to people the way they do? Would you go to somebody that way and trust them to help you deal with the horrible situation you're dealing with? Because I wouldn't. After seeing it last night, I don't trust that at all. Like, that scares me. I would be worried that they would make the situation worse just by the way they talk to people and the way they think down on everybody.
I think they've got to stick to playing to the sympathy card. And if they get anything outside of that, anything off topic from their, discussing what's happened to them and playing to the sympathy card, if any other conversation is going to be going to deteriorate pretty quickly, because they're not great conversationalists. Let's just put it that way.
And oh my God, that's an understatement, bro. A complete and total understatement. I feel that anything that we have seen at this point now, because of what we saw last night, I think anything we've seen is not real. Not anything that goes out in the media, interviews, any statements made, none of it's real.
I don't think anything's real in this case. That's what I wanted to talk about today. Is I think it's none of it's real. You can't take anything at face value. I missed the interview with Steve Gira. Well, I mean, I should say I chose to do other things and not watch it. But
right.
Did he reference Cy Ray at all?
No, he has a hard on for Turby though. Like, he literally threatened Turby. He called Turby out as a sexual predator. What else did he do, you guys?
How did he make that connection?
He said that
Can we see that clip?
Yeah, he called him. He went back to Turby's college years or something, and said he's heard, I believe is how he said it, that Turby had a way about him in college with stalking and pushing himself on women or something in that manner.
Blocking doorways, that kind of thing.
He didn't go that far with it, and he swears up and down that Turby was the one that wrote the book too, Jess. The Chris Wickham book, that's Turby. That's how out of touch he is with reality.
Oh my gosh, that is ignorant. That is beyond. Oh, he is so ignorant.
So did you guys see that Bryan Enton released a video just shortly after when Cy Ray appeared with Bryan Enton? It's an old now. It's like over a week old, I think. But I just noticed it yesterday. And it seems like Bryan Enton's not as stupid as I thought he was. He was quite wise to the fact that what Cy Ray was saying wasn't making any sense. So he went out and recruited an FBI lawyer, a lawyer that specializes in representing the FBI, to basically debunk everything Cy Ray said. That appeared to be what the goal was. I don't know if you guys caught that.
No.
Yeah. So
he did are you talking about right after it? Then he kind of did a live thing where he kind of held his phone up, like a little impromptu thing. Was that what that was?
Well, that was the beginning of it, but then that broke into like several pre-recorded.
Okay, no,
So
so
it
I
was like
only
an
saw
hour long.
Yeah.
It was like an hour-long episode of,
Oh, shit.
and
No,
there
I
was
didn't see it.
various topics covered, various different guests.
So he was asking some questions at least and questioning Cy at least.
I never saw that.
Well, my opinion of Cy Ray's statements on all these shows has been the stuff that he's saying that is against Bryan, against Kohberger, like in favor of guilt, is all meaningless dribble. Like it doesn't have any substance. So how much can you read into that? But he's also mixing in Bryan should get a new trial. The DNA is going to get tossed. Some of this stuff is going to get tossed, and he's offering the caveat that, oh, don't worry, he's guilty. I could put him in the, there's all this evidence that he's guilty. And I thought it was quite telling that the FBI lawyer said that everything Cy Ray said was just mindless dribble and it carries no weight. It essentially, it doesn't even make sense. And
it doesn't. It's a direct.
That kind of debunks the idea that Cy Ray is trying to play toward law enforcement, because I said this the last time I was on the panel, that everything Cy Ray has said to a trained expert is going to sound like mindless drivel. So it's not helping his credibility with the kind of people that he would want to help it with. So that leads you to ask the question, what is his motive then?
I don't know. I mean, I know that public opinion. I mean, if you see, everyone's eating that shit up. They're saying now we knew it was Maddie. We knew, and so there is something to be said. But as far as like having people that matter, like what you said, what would he gain from doing that? I think it's backing the blue.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I think there's more to it than that now.
Like, you don't think that because, like, I always just see him making excuses just like other people did for the investigation and lack thereof, just that they didn't have enough manpower and things like that. So that was just why I said that, because I feel like they're always giving an excuse to them.
I definitely don't think he wants to be seen as not backing the blue, or I don't think he wants to be seen as adversarial to law enforcement. But as I've said many times, if he wants to get in the good graces of law enforcement, it's not necessary for him to make an ass of himself. And he's intelligent enough that he's aware what he's doing. And as I said, most intelligent people in his field are aware of what he's doing. So the fact that he's willing to do it, and he knows what he's doing, and he knows how it's going to be received, that leaves the only conclusion he's up to something a lot bigger than what it appears on face value.
And as I said last night, with Sly Prey, to me, is doing. It's not just to stick up for his brothers in blue. There's way more to this. I agree with Jesse on that. There's something deeper with this. Now, does it play into what I said the other day about people being threatened, this, that, and everything else? It could. I think it's deeper than even that. I think he's playing a game. Now, there's some people that think that he's like auspiciously calling out the prosecution and the people without doing it to their face. I don't see that anymore either. I'm not saying the people are wrong that are saying it. Cy is playing some kind of a game. I don't know what the goal is here, what he thinks he's going to get out of this, but I think there's more to it than just those minimal aspects.
Great comment from Trey Hawker. Let's talk legit for sure stuff, please. Wow. Where are we going to find that?
Where's that coming from, Trey?
Where do we look for that?
Yeah, I agree with that one.
I'm all ears, Trey. You list what's legit for sure stuff.
I know what he's saying, though, because I think Foxy said something that is definitely not true. And we definitely don't want to put things like that out because there's enough misinformation. It says, please correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that both Steve and Christy are supposed to be in prison right now for moving weight of heavy narcotics. No. That is definitely not anything I've ever heard or seen.
Well,
And I do
just
believe it's
legally,
completely
that's
wrong.
accusing somebody of a crime, and you shouldn't be doing that without
Yeah,
evidence
no.
because
I-
you could have legal repercussions, right?
Yeah, that's not true. I agree with you, Trey, on that one. We got to keep it real, folks. So I don't know where
Yeah,
that came from, Foxy, but that's definitely not true.
I apologize to Trey because I misunderstood the comment that he made, but
Oh no, you're good.
I
I'm
thought
sure
he might have been
understands you too,
referencing
too.
my speculation.
I really
But
don't think that Cy wants to be a part of the trial either. If this new trial happens, so he's excused himself with all.
he's not able to be part with everything he said.
Well, now he's not. Yeah, no kidding. That's what I mean.
No, they won't have him now at all.
That's what I think that
without a
that's
doubt.
part of it. I mean, I don't think he wants to be on Bryan's side. He doesn't want to testify for Bryan. You know, I mean, he's made that abundantly clear.
Well, they won't have him for the prosecution either. At least the judge won't allow it, I believe.
Well,
These two sisters said, I don't remember the families of the Gainesville murders acting this way after that horrible tragedy. You know what? That's a great point, two sisters. I don't think I've ever seen families of any victim act this way in any case, ever. There's something wrong with it.
Did anybody catch the Andrew Myers video drop this morning?
No, I didn't get to see that.
Okay, well, let me make a point that that I got from that. Both Andrew and Yoli, they covered Turvey's most recent comments with Donna Rotano.
Yeah,
and they both agreed that they don't believe. They struggle to believe that Ann Taylor did the things that Turvey is saying that Ann Taylor did. Now, they don't say anything negative about Turvey. They're not necessarily calling Turvey a liar. And I'm certainly not calling Turvey a liar, and I support Turvey. And of all these people who I would like to take at face value, he comes across as the most honest. But you guys know how I feel. I feel like there's something bigger behind the scenes going on. And just, I guess the fact that Andrew and Yoli are both attorneys and the fact that they're struggling to believe that at face value might indicate that there is something bigger going. And I think I don't think they would disagree with that, because I don't think they're against Turvey or that they're calling him a liar, but it's just so hard to believe that Ann Taylor would do that. It's so hard for me to believe that Cy Ray would do that. And it's so hard for me to believe that Brent Turvey, even though I like Brent Turvey and he comes across as honest, we did discuss this the last time I was on here. It's so unheard of for legal experts to battle in the public forum the way and levy the kind of accusations against each other that these experts have. This is completely unprecedented as far as I'm aware. And if anybody else is aware of otherwise, please let me know.
Well, I
fully agree.
I think with Turvey, I believe the reason why he came out was because of the fact that he knew that nothing was going to happen unless somebody brought this to light. And if it wasn't for him, this stuff wouldn't be brought to light. So, I mean, I can see why he would come forward, what he has to gain from it, why he would do that.
He's escalated his level of attacks, though, toward Ann Taylor. He's extended them now to the rest of the legal team and the psychologist.
Well, and I think it's because, when we're looking at the injustices here, we have to look at everybody. Who dropped the ball here? And, Cy Ray is, calling him out for, that for the same thing. And I just don't know if I'm coming across right. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Sophie made a good comment. I would not be at all surprised if Ann Taylor was threatened in some way.
Yeah. And
Diego said that many times as well.
Or maybe there was things that happened behind the scenes and this was what she had to do. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's not unheard of, especially how far people are willing to go with this case to affect how the outcome is.
I'll be right back, guys. Got to run to the little boys' room. Keep on going.
Not that Ann isn't intentionally, but she may have got put in a situation that she was not able to get out of.
That makes plenty of sense, Sweet Bee. Like I said, I've always thought that I just find it much like Andrew and Yoli said. I've been against Dan Taylor. I'm sure you remember me talking to Eddie, and Eddie and I having a big discussion
I
about.
totally agree with you on that for sure. Yeah.
And I was against Dan Taylor because at the end of the day, Bryan's in jail. Nothing's happening.
Right.
I'm pissed off. And if you're a capable
Yep.
lawyer, you're the responsibility falls on the head coach in sports, right? The team loses, the head coach is the bad guy, he gets fired. The same logic applies to Bryan's lawyer in a legal case. Now, something's happened now, and I'm trying to wrap my head around how it's come to be that this has happened, because this was always part of a popular hypothesis on all these channels. This panel, many other panels on other channels talked about the post-conviction relief, the timing, and it's kind of falling into place. So, but I think Sophie made a good point, and you made a good point that what Ann Taylor has done makes no sense for her to do unless it's one, strategy, or two, she was threatened and it wasn't her doing. She didn't choose to do it. She was forced. Her hand was forced.
And maybe there's something to be said. I mean, I don't really consider it dying on the sword, like Sai said, but if she has ethics and she really does believe that Bryan's innocent, I mean, that's her right to say, I think he's innocent, and to stick with that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
I think she was overwhelmed. I mean, we've talked about this before too. Her having this mounting of quote unquote evidence. We know that there was, even Dr. Turvey talked about the evidence. What do you call it? The digital evidence being like ridiculous amount of like terabytes or whatever it was, that they would just never be able to get through in time for the trial. And I believe part of that decision, part of it, though I don't believe it to be all, was that she felt as though she could not provide proper defense because of the amount of evidence that she had to go through. And it's one of the things she voiced is saying, I don't have enough time to get through this. I need to be able to defend it. And I'm filing for, for things. I can't get the word in my head right now. I'm filing for, to get this evidence in, and they're either delaying it, and now all this other evidence is, and I just don't have the time to get through it to be able to give a defense for it. And I don't think she felt confident in what she signed up to do. And I think that's a big part of it. And I do think, and that would make sense in that, what Kohberger is claiming, that if she did kind of err on the side of saying, you know what, because I can't truly defend you, like I need to defend you because of this very reason, we could run into a situation here where I'm not going to be prepared if they come out with something from left field, and you could end up going, to death row, and putting it before him, something like that, and kind of having this decision, like, do I just plead guilty? But I mean, even so, I would never plead guilty. I mean, I feel like I just would never do that. I couldn't admit to something I didn't do. So, but in the same token, they're pressed for time. You had the trial just around the corner. There was all this stuff they hadn't had a chance to look at yet. And maybe she also was thinking, in her mind, and maybe she didn't express it. Maybe she thought, this is the only way that any of this information is ever going to get out to the public. And that would, that'll be the best way, and maybe it'll just fix itself. Who knows? But I do believe to be part of the reason that this whole thing went down the way it did. It was so quick. It was like literally turning a page. It was so fast. It's like you're going, you're making full steam ahead on the, he's innocent, and then all of a sudden, bing, plea deal. Like, whoa, you just took a hard left. What happened? But I do believe that to be why. That's my opinion, part of my opinion.
I would hate to think that my lawyer would want me to plead guilty because she didn't have enough time to do her job.
I know. I mean, it truly, none of it makes real sense. you know, and it's certainly not palatable when we were looking at everything and what we were hoping for. But I do that. I mean, she just didn't seem confident. She actually seemed pretty overwhelmed, and she got chastised for it because she took on another case during this case.
Well, okay, and that's something you
So-
just brought up there too. Don't apologize. I'm sorry to cut you off. Judge Hippler also brought to her attention that she had the option of reaching out to. I guess there's a judge that is in charge of dealing with specific things within the case when you need help with things. And then he also told her, if I remember correctly, he did say, you know, if you need certain things, you need to let me know. She never did that. I do question that. I do question as to why, is all I'm saying. Again, I told you guys I'm not 100,000% throwing her under the bus. I'm not shutting anything down. I'm keeping all my doors open until I can get some kind of an actuality of what the hell is going on with this before I completely shut anybody down. You know what I mean? So
Right.
All I can say, but as far as Anne goes, though, I mean, if you literally had this exculpatory evidence and you did not say anything,
yeah,
you are shit. Like, that's just it.
Yeah.
that's
So,
another question. If that's true, why? What are you gaining from that?
and it doesn't even matter. Like, she should have told him. Like, there's no reason why you would not tell your client everything.
I just think, yeah, she said, since batshit crazy said first mistake was waiving his rights to a speedy trial. Yeah,
We all
Yeah.
questioned that in the very beginning. We did.
for sure. But you know, there you come to that juncture and you're fighting all that way. Why did you take that hard left? Like, I mean, I said what my thoughts were.
Trial. He wasn't going to
Yeah,
get a fair trial.
I really it should have played out. It really should have played out. I think
those pre-trial motion denials where he wasn't really able to present his defense because of all those denials.
Well, that too. That played a part. That
So,
also played a part.
You know, if you have, and especially he wasn't able to get the IGG excluded. We were told to lie about a tip. You know, all these different things. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Absolutely.
so yeah, that's just where I'm at. Like,
you know, and then, you know, but I was thinking, well, besides that too, that all the denials that they had, it did seem like the cards, you know, were stacked against them, you know, like in that respect. And also the leaks just before, all the leaks starting to come out in these, you know, Dateline and, you know, documentaries and other stuff getting leaked, and, you know, painting him, just conveniently painting him in the worst light possible, without anything to back it up, just, you know, perceptions of, oh, he's wearing a black hoodie, look how creepy he looks, kind of thing. I think they were kind of seeing what was going on, and I think there were doubts about him being able to, you know, win this case beyond a shadow of a doubt. So, it's just hard to tell because there's so much convolution in this case. It's like, there's so much shystiness going on that, you know, it could be that plus something else at this point.
Right. Welcome, Miss Lori.
she just should not. Hey, she just should not have taken another case. She should have. I mean, there's a lot of things. So, you know, there's a lot of things to question. But again, at the end of the day, if, in fact, which I have no reason not to believe Turvey, if he gave her that information and she did not give it to Bryan, and that's why he pled guilty, because there was nothing else. He was scared of what was going to happen. We were all, again, lying about what was happening. And
Let's stop for a minute. Again, I don't know if you heard me, but welcome, Lori. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, hello. Thanks for
there she is.
letting
There
me.
she is. Okay.
Thanks for letting me come up.
Oh, of course. You're always welcome. You know that. The thing that bothers me with Dr. Turvey, I think we've discussed this before. The absolute huge loss that he would take if it were to be brought forth that he was wrong about the things he claimed. Okay? This is his absolute livelihood. And Dr. Turvey, I don't know his financial, how he's sitting, okay? We know that Cy Ray is set for life. He doesn't need anything, okay? It is what it is. So he can say and do whatever he wants. This doesn't matter. And I still think he's still trying to sell his program, but I think he's pretty much locked in financially. I don't know Turby's background. I don't know how he's sitting, whatever it is, but he could still, your reputation is everything, folks, when you do something like what these gentlemen do. And at that point, I can't imagine that he would put his reputation, his name, his career, his livelihood, his life on the line, especially in reference to an attorney who has the ability to bring health or hell's uh, uh, fury down on his head. Okay. And it's, sorry about that. You guys know I'm trying to read and talk at the same time. It doesn't work for me. But you guys know what I mean by that. Like, and if she chooses to sue him or do anything legal to him, she has every tool in her pocket to do it, and she could destroy him.
She
So,
still hasn't came out to say anything about.
not second. Yeah, right. About Cyre, nothing.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I agree with
about
everything you
Turvey.
said, Diego. But
Turvey,
I think the
heard.
same logic could be applied to all actors, all the actors in this case, including Cyre, Chris Whitcomb, and Taylor, Brent Turvey. Who's gaining
Sure.
what? Because
Right.
it seems like they're all putting themselves in grave danger at this point.
Including Cyre. And I wanted to speak on this when if you think back with Ann Taylor, I've been of the mindset that I want to see the good in her and that she's defending Bryan Kohberger 100% and has his best interest in mind. But the red flags for me started popping up when she she didn't fight tearing down the crime scene, the 1122 King Road house. That never should have been torn down prior to the trial, ever. And her, as his attorney, she should have fought harder to make sure that was not torn down. That is literally the acoustics and everything of what happened that night and protecting her client. If especially her saying he's not guilty, he's not guilty. Okay, then you need to be able to show what the acoustics were. And we all know that the 8-hour time gap in Dylan and Bethany's story, that doesn't make any sense. How important it is to be able to prove that and the acoustics of that house. So
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
What do you think of the way she handled the alibi?
His alibi, well, if you have a hard time proving his alibi that he's at home sleeping, whether it would have been that he was at home sleeping and his phone died during the night. My phone dies all the time at night, so I could have been accused because of my touch DNA and my phone died. So there's so many people out there in the world that could be accused of that because of touch DNA, the same situation. With that being said, they're in a rock and a hard spot with that one. So I feel that she did not fight hard enough I hope that answered that question for you. I feel like she didn't fight hard enough for him with that situation. And then also the other red flag was moving things out of that house. You are changing the acoustics of the house, those belongings, getting them out of the house. That I don't know why she didn't fight that. And then also the other thing was the IgG and that story that Judge Hippler said, both of you come up with a story that you can agree on for the jury. That was
Yeah. You guys both need to come up with a lie, right?
Yeah, I've
so
just
bad. Like I
never.
I didn't even know like anything. Like I wasn't thinking that he was, innocent at the time, and I was floored by that. Let me tell you, that
her
I
is
anything like it.
Yeah, her as his attorney. I mean, she didn't even fight that. Like, I don't remember anything coming from her. Like, why are we even doing this? Like you're throwing this out, and this was the grounds for you getting to my client. And now you want me to come up with some BS story. So right there were my red flags with Ann
Of
Taylor.
course, of course.
So is Brent Turvey lying about Ann Taylor? I don't think so. I mean, that's just my opinion because there's been red flags along the way with Ann Taylor as Bryan Kohberger's attorney. She is just too lackadaisical with some things that were very important along the way. And as far
And
as his
the custody on the knife sheath too, like the knife sheath, like where in that shitty DNA on there, like that all should have been thrown out. Like,
yeah, and I'm just interested, Jesse, what the alibi, like, do you feel
It,
like she should have fought harder with
I
that, or?
I think she should have offered nothing compared to what she did offer.
I agree.
What,
That's
what
what
they
she
didn't need.
offered was a sign of weakness, in my
They
opinion.
didn't have to offer
Yeah.
anything. That's what I didn't understand about that.
exactly. And it was Hippler that was pushing it, and Ann should have pushed back and said no.
I can tell you exactly what I was doing when the alibi was released. And this was very early in the case, of course. I was, we read the PCA, and after reading the PCA, I had determined that there's no evidence against Bryan. So I was firmly in the innocent until proven guilty camp. And then the alibi comes out and it's read. And I was on a live panel with a guy who used to come around here. And as soon as he started reading the alibi on the panel, I said to myself, they got him. They must have him in his car. The only way that you would make that your alibi is if they have him in his car in the area. Otherwise, why would you ever admit to driving around
Right.
anywhere near the crime scene? You would never, that's an admission. So I felt like they must have him on camera somewhere. And then it turns out that they didn't really have any solid tracking of his car. And it just seemed like she should have said nothing.
I remember when we had that conversation about that, Jesse, that when that happened, we were both kind of floored. And I said,
Well, I almost went to full on guilter after that.
Yeah, I remember.
That
do.
made me feel like, okay, well, I'm shifting my stance to he might be guilty after reading the alibi.
But
absolutely.
If that really is your alibi, that you're out driving around at night, which is something I do regularly, and that's just it. What it is.
From my understanding, that's not true, Pigal. If I'm correct, that they didn't require an alibi. If I'm wrong,
it requires an alibi. And I am not a lawyer, but I think I know the answer to this question, so I'm going to pretend like
we went over this one time, and I might be wrong, but go ahead.
I'm going to play lawyer for a second. I believe the law is if you intend to use an alibi, you have to provide it in advance. So by failing to meet the alibi obligation, you can still choose not to provide one, but you can't come a year later and say, here is our alibi. However, it doesn't stop you from showing evidence that would provide you an alibi. So if new evidence comes to light, I believe you can still use that as an alibi. But they preclude you from just cooking up a new alibi if you don't provide one in the beginning.
Maybe that's how it was explained to me then, because I remember hearing somebody explain something to me that they didn't have to have an alibi because of a certain situation. So maybe that's how it was. So my apologies. Anytime I'm wrong, I'm wrong. It is what it is. So
well, the way I remember it, they have to if they want to go on an alibi defense. He's not guilty because he couldn't have been there because he was here, and you can no longer use that defense if you don't provide the alibi in the allotted time. So, but there's a bunch of wiggle room. There was a lot of wiggle room there. So you could still not provide an alibi, and then new information comes to light, and you can still use it.
Right, and that's exactly what I'm saying. Just 67, like that, driving around, and then she says, like he normally does, because he likes to stargaze and hike and do these things at night. She was just adding that on there. But
I just think that gives too much ammunition to.
I would not have, that's when I would have stopped. All I would have said was, if you're going to give your alibi, and Bryan's saying this is my alibi, which is I was driving around at night and my phone lost signal or whatever it was, and that's it.
I look at it as like, the prosecution, I looked at this as a game of poker. And it's like, almost like bluffing, well, they did, I believe, bluff a lot, but bluffing their hand to see what kind of pressure, they could put to get them to bring forth information. I mean, Bryan must have, absolutely been out and about that night. And, what if someone said to them, well, we have him on camera, or something like that, but just didn't specify anything else, and then it kind of, she felt like she had to give the information and say something at that point. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I just feel
Yeah.
like there's some kind of bluffing going on somewhere,
That's a
Well, and
good point.
if he didn't have a good alibi, which he really, honestly, it doesn't look like he had a great
He
alibi.
didn't.
And so the point is that he didn't have to have one. He didn't have to prove his innocence. The only and as what we all know now that all these documents have came out, the state didn't have anything on him. So Anne didn't need to be worried about any of that anyway. What she needed to do was toughen up and go after all the BS that Moscow PD and Thompson, that moron, all the crap that he didn't have, that Ann Thompson had to know he didn't have. And she just wasn't being tough enough. She wasn't being tough enough with Thompson. And I know that Hitler was not letting her do this and do that. He wasn't ruling in the alternate perpetrators, but if she was a good enough lawyer, he did tell her that if so and so says this or that, then you're going to be able to let it come in. So to me, it's just mind-boggling why she made him take a plea deal when we now know all these things that we know. It just doesn't make any sense. It makes no sense. So I can
Well,
see why Turvey is out there saying everything he's saying. And to me, what's most telling is the fact that to this day, Ann Taylor has said nothing other than her one little scathing little typed out letter that was prior to any of his vocal interviews. He
I mean, and
still
that
hasn't said a word.
agreed, but we don't know why though. That's the question there, or the problem right there. But let me read this real fast first. It says, "Does Idaho state require?" Just so everybody knows, when I'm right or wrong, I try to make sure that it's understood. Because if I'm wrong, I want to correct it. It says, "Does Idaho require an alibi?" Yes. If you mean Idaho criminal law, Idaho has a specific alibi notice requirement, but it is not automatic in every case. Under 12.1, that rule number, a defendant who intends to rely, like Jesse was explaining, on an alibi must comply with Idaho Code 19-519. The important part is that the prosecutor must make a written demand for the alibi notice, which we all know that happened, obviously. Now, so they do require one. Here's the thing, though, and I think Lori's the one that made the statement, and it's true. And we've known this, okay? It is not the defense's job to prove whether Bryan did this or did not do this, okay? Not at all. It is the prosecutor's office, beyond the shadow of a doubt, to prove that it was this person that did it, period. End of story. That's how that works. So that may be where I got confused, but I will definitely apologize for misstating that, as well as who was it that stated that. You are absolutely correct. I was wrong, and my deepest apologies for being wrong. I don't like stating misinformation because, at least not on purpose. It's definitely not the way I do things over here. So anyway, please accept my apology, and thank you for being correct and stating that information. Anyway, now here's the thing I have with what we're discussing here with Ann. If you go backwards in time, because I did early on when she first came on the case, which is where I gained the respect for her that I did. Ann Taylor is a killer attorney. Okay, seriously, like she is a badass defense attorney. If you look at all her cases in the past, she's very well revered. very strong as an attorney. Um, just she does an amazing job, and the things we saw from her up through Latah County until she moved to Ada County was amazing to me. And again, my respect just grew for her. When she got to Ada County, something happened. Okay, it was in my opinion, it was the judge. He treated her with absolute disrespect. He stepped on her. He ignored who she was as an attorney, in my opinion, and he basically yanked every.
He like belittled her.
Yeah, he belittled her. I look at it as though he was trying to ground out her confidence as an attorney. Is exactly how I saw it, because that's what I saw every time she spoke, every time he disrespected her on purpose, the faces he made, all of those things. So I do think in this situation, I'll just say this. This is my opinion. In this situation, I do question some of the things she did, but I also don't know the circumstances behind the reason why those things happened. Okay. Um, and I have something I wanted to review, cut through with you guys a little bit as we're discussing this. If you guys remember these things, okay, we saw Anne, even when she first got to Ada County, she still had that, what can I call it? Like that little bit of spice to her, okay, for lack of better terms. The first couple hearings, she was still going at it pretty hardcore, I thought. Okay. When we got to the continuance hearing, I think it was. Any of you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think, which one came first, guys? The continuance hearing or the alternate perpetrators hearing? Do you guys remember? I thought it was the continuance hearing, but I could be wrong. I'm trying to think. But one of those two, whichever one came first, is when I started seeing a little bit of deflation. By the end of the secondary hearing, I think it was the alternate, or no, it was the continuance or it was the alternate perpetrator, then the continuance. So yeah, I started seeing in here because we never got to watch the alternate perpetrators hearing. We got some kind of I think a transcript and then some notes and documents and stuff like that. There started to be a deflation, I think. The continuance hearing is when I think she was fully deflated. And that's when I think she realized that she hit a wall with this, with him and with them. Okay. I think this is my opinion, folks, fully. You don't have to agree with me by any means. I completely understand it. But that's where I thought I saw her start to change. She got quiet. She didn't speak as much. Vika and Eliza started doing a lot more of talking than she would do, things like that. And then this is the change of plea hearing. And I thought it would be interesting to review this as we're discussing these things and see certain things. But for who's backstage, typically when you're new and you have never been on stage before, I ask you to show your face for about 30 seconds so I can ensure that you're going to show your face and not your waist, just to be, safe. And then you can turn your camera off before I even put you on stage. I just want to see your face real quick to make sure we're getting the real thing. If you can do that. If not, I understand. It's for safety of the community and ourselves. I see nothing. I just see black. Are you able? Okay, hold on a minute. Let me try something here. All right. Can you hear me, Shane?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. You can turn your camera off if you have it on.
Okay.
Are you good? All right. You got good sound?
Good sound, yes.
Well, you sound great. Thank you, sir. Thanks for joining us tonight. Appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
I'm
Welcome to
good.
the community, by the way.
Hi, Shane.
Thank you, Bubble. All right. So where was I at? That's when I feel like the shit started to hit the wall with her. Okay. And I've said that many, many times now. And I just wonder, when this hit, you guys, it was a blow to all of us. Everybody went, what? We got the motion in the document for this. We saw it. We were like, what the hell's going on? How in the hell is this happening? And why? And it just was like bing, bang, boom, and it's done. It all happened so fast. And I think we've all said something seems to have happened. Okay. Something seems to have over, I think it was a 48-hour period of time, something came into play that changed things for her or the defense team themselves. And I'm very curious as to what it is. Okay. Of course, I don't know. None of us are going to know, but that's how I took it, is what I thought. Hold on a minute. Let me check something over here. Christopher Bond, welcome. Robbie Smith, welcome. All right. So, before we go anywhere else or talk, did you have anything you wanted to add to since you're newer up here, Shane, before we move forward anymore?
I missed the last couple of minutes because I had to go through some steps to get in. So I'm not
I'm
quite
sorry.
sure where you're at in the conversation.
Really, we were just talking about Ann Taylor, what may have happened, how people's feelings are about what she did or didn't do. Dr. Turvey, him saying the things he said about her, just kind of opinions about that type of stuff is all we're really talking about right
Oh,
now.
well, I think we'll learn a lot if it goes to a hearing, because apparently Bryan waives attorney-client privilege for the hearing, so Ann Taylor can say basically whatever she wants.
Right.
So I think if we get that far to have a hearing, then I think we'll learn more about it.
So do you think, let's back up a little bit, Shane. Do you think that Ann Taylor, that's kind of where the conversation was, do you think she did anything wrong with what she was doing as his defense attorney building up to the end of the case? Or do you feel like she did a good job with it? It's kind of where we're at with things.
Oh, I don't know. I agree. It kind of came out of the blue. It was. I was really shocked that he did that plea deal.
Definitely.
I don't know that was good advice if it was her idea, because to me there's a lot of doubt. There's a lot of doubt in this case.
Most definitely.
And
most definitely.
I think it's a sharp point by Shane that we'll learn a lot from the hearing, because I think we'll get. I don't know if Shane is aware of some of the things that other people are speculating, but there is some speculation, Shane, in some circles that there's something going on behind the scenes between Turvey, Cy Ray, all the defense experts sort of conspiring to get to this point with the post-conviction relief, and that somebody's going to fall on the sword for Bryan as part of a predetermined plan. And I know this is a big conspiracy theory. I know it's a long shot, but I've been trying to point out to everybody that everything that's happening, there is no theory, there's no direction that you could choose to go that doesn't involve somebody going way outside the professional norms. Like even just Ann being the bad guy, in order to believe that that's what happened here, you have to believe that Ann Taylor just went way rogue on what an attorney would do and how an attorney would behave and put her entire career at risk. So that is one of the biggest conspiracy theories out there, really.
Yeah.
And that's the sort of normie opinion right now. The more involved conspiracy theories involve everybody cooperating. But I guess to sum it up, my point is, as you said, Shane, when it comes to a hearing, how she chooses to fight back is probably going to show us a lot, because you would expect if she's innocent, or even if she's guilty, she should be attacking her opponents vigorously. And if she's kind of wishy-washy with her defense of herself, it might be an indication that this is a plan and she is falling on the sword.
That's kind of what I'm curious to see too. Go ahead, Shane.
No, I was just going to say, yeah, that sounds like a lot of what I was thinking.
Makes sense. And I'm curious to see, I think it'll make a huge difference if, for instance, there is a falling on the sword situation. That will, I think, answer a lot of questions for everybody, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
I just think that there's so much misinformation out there that these experts are getting pissed and they want to be heard, possibly too. I At least we know that's for sure with Turvey. I mean, it's no doubt in my mind that his intention was to come out and expose everything and be that whistleblower for Bryan. Um, but as far as Cy goes, I can't. He's gone so far rogue. I mean, he has implemented himself within the Goncalves family. I mean, talk about diabolical if this is some kind of grand plan. I mean, it just, that would really ruin, that would definitely ruin your reputation.
I think there's no question that Cy Ray is operating a grand plan. I'm not saying that the grand plan that's been described by certain people in the community is bang on, but the way he's cozied up to the G's because you can clearly see he's giving them bogus information. He's buttering up the G's with absolute bullshit, and anybody with half a brain can figure it out. And I guess that excludes the G's. Bryan Enton seems to be wise to it. Even that was one of the points I made today. So what is Cy Ray doing? I can't say for sure, but I think it goes beyond what it looks like at face value.
I sure hope so, because he kind of sounds like he's losing his shit.
Yeah, and Turvey, he even actually, if you listened and caught that, he actually, when he spoke to the Kohbergers, the family, he turned them over to legal representation. He told them what he had to say, and then he turned him over to legal representation. So he's not messing around. He's not like Cy Ray, who's coming out and just flapping his gums to the Goncalves family. He's not messing around. He's like, okay, I'm going to tell you what I have to say, but then I'm not, I'm not, like, he's not equipped to really handle this situation. So he's trying to do this the right way. So I give him a lot more credit than I do Cy Ray. A lot more.
Yeah, Cy did everything wrong in every aspect, in my opinion. I fully agree with you, Lori. You don't do what he did. You don't step out of your lane, so far out of your lane that you can't come back from it. And then the two interviews that we watched, in my opinion, this is my opinion, of course, there was nothing but absolute gaslighting to the Goncalves family from him. Nothing but. Clearly, it was almost like he was baiting them to get reactions for the things he was saying, if for lack of better terms. You know what I mean?
It seemed like he enjoyed it.
Yeah, like he was baiting, like knowing that the things he was going to say was going to upset them. That's exactly what I was seeing. Go ahead.
Yes.
Can I respond to Love and Other Habits?
Sure.
Comment in the chat. Love and Other Habits says Turvey is still speaking way outside his lane, and I totally do agree with that. And when you think about that, why would Turvey be speaking so far outside of his lane? It's just so far out of character, as is Cy Ray.
I think he's pissed.
So, but I guess the point that I wanted to make is, if he's willing to speak so far outside his lane because he's so passionate and he's pissed, as you said, the same commitment to the truth that causes him to speak so far out of his lane, that same passion would also cause him, in my opinion, to be part of a grand conspiracy where they're all conspiring to do something behind the scenes. If you're that committed to it, why wouldn't you do that? And it does. I have seen just some clues that all these people seem to be operating way outside of their lane.
Yeah.
And for what reason? It just blows my mind that all these people could be putting their asses on the line to such a degree when it's not necessary for them to do it, for no reason. And there's got to be something going on behind the scenes. And you guys know how I feel. You guys know the alternative hypothesis might not be 100% right, but in my opinion, something is going on.
So you don't think he is just a right fighter?
I do think he's a right fighter, but he might be right fighting in a way that's not what he's representing at face value.
Can I ask you, Jesse, what do you think Turvey is stating outside of his lane?
Uh, well, he's a defense expert to talk about the crime scene, right? And he starts talking about the legal process. He gets into stuff that would be more a lawyer's job rather than a defense expert, a crime scene expert's job. Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
what did he get into about the lawyer? I'm just like for an example.
I must apologize. I'm not prepared to counter what you're saying. It wasn't something that I had thought of, but in past discussions, points have been made, and I would have to go back and look at the exact points of where he. But my memory, my memory does tell me that he has gone beyond his expertise, well beyond.
Oh, okay. That's what I'm curious. Like, was this with the Turno interview, or was it with Custody Queens? Because I'm gonna go back and listen.
If this was "I Want to Be a Millionaire," you would get a lifeline. So I would like to use my lifeline here and ask the chat.
I just
Chat,
want to.
Love Another
I'm
Habit,
not
back me up.
questioning you because I'm denying what you're saying. I promise. I just want to.
It's okay. It's okay,
listen.
regardless. I'm a good sport.
Yeah, well, so am I. I just want to re-listen to it so I can catch what you're saying because I didn't notice.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I think that Turvey just, in my opinion, I'll just say this. From what I saw, granted, he stayed within the realms of what he's supposed to, I think, yes. But I think he spoke on a couple other things that I'm trying to remember exactly. Brent Turvey is a crime scene specialist. Am I right or am I wrong?
That's what I know him as.
Okay.
Yes, and that's all he is. He's
That's
not
what
a
I
lawyer.
thought. Yeah, he spoke on the crime scene situation, so on and so forth. So I think the only ways that he stepped out of his, I guess, his wheelhouse was just maybe mentioning the fact that, Anne, the things he mentioned about Anne not testing things, or maybe speaking on Bryan's innocence, or things like that. Really and honestly, but I do agree. Cy Ray went, like Tomboy said at the chat, he went all the way off the frickin' highway. He didn't even stick to a lane. He did, and nobody called him out on it. So I think that's kind of where that comes into play.
Dago, did you see what Rogue said? Turvey is a forensic scientist.
There it is. Yeah.
An analyst. Yeah, look at all this. Crime reconstructionist, forensic criminologist, and or criminal profiler.
Yeah.
And his lane is big, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I think he is straying very far from his lane, considering we have people like Ray saying that she's having an appropriate relationship as a mother to Bryan. I mean, that's just ridiculous. Like, that's
all that stuff.
I want to state that while I brought up Love and Other Habits comment, and I agree with Love and Other Habits, I'm not anti Team Turvey. I'm still Team Turvey. I'm still fully supportive of what Turvey's doing, whether it's at face value or if it's something greater than that. The reason I lean towards something greater than that is you just simply do not see legal professionals throwing each other under the bus, making accusations in a public forum the way that Turvey is doing it. It opens up a can of worms. It sets a precedent. You don't want to be known as that guy. It's way beyond the pale what's going on from all of these experts, including Turvey, which is, even though, as I said, of all the actors, I think he's the one that comes across the most honest. If he actually has all this information and everything is at face value, he's a whistleblower, and all the credit to him. So I'm not trying to speak out against Turvey when I say he's operating outside his lane, but what I'm saying is it's way outside the norms of what you'd expect in the legal community.
Yeah, it's not that. I agree with that. I don't think he went outside of his lane, because it is a very big lane. Betty Blue
at all. I've not seen that whatsoever. I think anything that he spoke on, especially talking about Anne, I mean, he's going by what he observed, and he's giving Anne information, and clearly she's not giving it to him. So that would I would be
So
questioning her
what
defense.
I was saying was that I don't want to say he stepped out of his lane per se, but I do like, okay, here's the difference with it. Like Betty Blue said, he said that Ann Taylor hid information, compartmentalized all experts, so on and so forth, stuff like that. I don't think that has anything to do with what lane he's in. He's just speaking his like, okay, what he's trying to do from what I can see is point to an injustice. Let's say this first and foremost. By doing that, you have to speak on certain things, I think, to do that. You can't just say, well, this is what I saw within the crime scene, so on and so forth, blah, 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 blah. But if it's to his opinion that there's something wrong, you may have to step outside that lane a little bit to explain that. So I don't really think he did too much at all, if at all, because it is such a broad, spectrum of what he deals with. Now, I think the big issue here with everybody is how far outside of the wheelhouse that Cy Ray actually went without even blinking. He didn't even care. And he doesn't care what he's speaking on. And as he's gaslighting a victim's family, saying this, saying that, in my opinion, looking for reactions from them, trying to hype them up, I guess, again, for lack of better terms, because it's exactly what I took from all of his interviews that he did with the Goncalves family, as he's trying to hype them up and get them pumped up to do something, it looks like. That's the way that I saw it. But I think that's the biggest issue. Go ahead, Jess.
So to sum up my opinion, one thing that's out of his lane is Turvey is saying that Ann Taylor and Cy Ray are conspiring against Bryan Kohberger.
Right.
That is quite the accusation, and you better have the proof if you're going to make accusations.
That's it right there.
Like
yes, sir.
And Cy Ray is saying that Turvey and Ann Taylor are conspiring against the courts to free Bryan Kohberger. That again is quite the accusation. And to me, neither, like, you just don't get lawyers making these kind of accusations against each other, even if they suspect it, even if they have knowledge. It's just so odd for that, and they're the polar opposites. And when you really think about it, to me, all these people accusing each other of working back channels behind the scenes, to me, sort of fits together in the fact that they're all working together and all conspiring together and pointing the finger at each other like this. But yeah, that is a good example of
Yeah, go ahead.
If you're taking Turvey as face value, that accusation's out there, and not quite as far out there as Cy Ray's accusation, which is basically the same accusation.
Right. Good point. Where did you see? I'm looking for this thing you brought up, Jesse, with Brian Enton.
It goes back a while. I think it's on his own channel, and it's like a week old. It says, I think the title is something about Cy Ray's claims aren't, questioning the title that got me to click on it was because they were addressing Cy Ray's claims.
Gotcha. Hang on here.
I can try and find it if you want.
Was it a full video or was it a short or what?
Yeah, no, it's a full. It's like an hour-long video.
Ah, okay.
I heard there was an interview with the lady that interviewed Turvey, and she had some expert on there talking shit about Turvey. Did you hear that?
Donna Rotano, I've heard that too.
I want to see that. I haven't seen that yet. That's wild. I mean, maybe,
I'm looking.
You had
No worries.
Maybe Cy Ray is doing it because he's trying to get the FBI to do their job, and because he thinks it will prove that Bryan's guilty. But I think maybe that's what he's doing. He wants Bryan to be guilty, and he thinks that the FBI didn't do a good job, so that's why he's not. Type deal. Does that make sense?
It does. Let me see something here. Evidence.
I think I found it. Bryan Kohberger was in the victim's house before murders, according to defense expert 2 weeks ago. 710K views. I don't know if you want me to send a link.
Put that link in the private chat, Jess. I'm
Yeah.
gonna work with
Alright.
2 of them.
You know, that to me, saying kind of these salacious things, and providing disinformation is really to sort of muddy the waters, as we talked about, but to really overwhelm the public so that they
Yes, that's what I said. Yes, the
Yeah.
public's buying into this shit, hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's-
everywhere. They're like, I knew
Thank you,
it was
Jess.
Patty, and I knew he
That's
was
the wrong link. Sorry.
Yeah, they're trying to overwhelm the
that's
public so
okay.
they can't recognize
Back
this
to the
truth,
drawing
and so they
board.
stop pursuing it. They're going to stop pursuing the truth. Eventually, they keep getting overwhelmed with they just don't know what's right, what's wrong. And that's the whole point. They want to let's just say they want to kind of rule out the opposition, overwhelm any type of dissension, as far as being against them, anything that's going to affect that narrative. And because I do believe it to be a bigger than what we realize situation, I totally see that happening. That's why what you mentioned, Jesse, about you've seen these professionals, these professional people in law and forensics and just kind of coming against each other. You just don't really see that. There's a code of ethics sort of thing that kind of goes along. They're very respectful, no matter even if they agree to disagree, blah blah blah. But this is like an all-out assault, of character and just I'm coming for you because this is right and that's wrong, and and I just believe that I do believe that there's some sincerity, but also there's all this other stuff is there. It's just to overwhelm. It's really mostly to overwhelm the public and to keep them from pursuing the truth. That's how I see it, my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that no matter which way you slice it, there's some kind of psyop going on
For
here,
sure.
and there's something underlying that's happening that otherwise we wouldn't see such erratic behavior from everybody. So I agree with you. I don't claim to know exactly what it is, but I did think that Pav's theory was logical, and that's the one I'm cheering for as a spectator. That one would be the best one for us, I think, as far as getting to the truth, if we could get there.
Yeah, and when things look a little crazy, when we take a step back, you're able to see things a little clearer. Sometimes, and I think we mentioned this in a few days ago, and that was when you're looking at something, you have to kind of consider that we get focused on some aspects of things sometimes, and we forget to take a step back and go, well, that's why that don't make sense, because there's more to this, and it's like you said about psyop. I 110% believe that that's happening, period. I think it's so obvious. If you look it up and do research on that stuff, it's so evident. But we know that but there is some truth weaved in there, and that's where we got to stay in that vein and not get too lost and caught up in it, but to keep.
Well, that's exactly what I'm saying about the
Yeah.
truth weed. When you say there's some truth weeds in there,
Yeah.
when you got both experts saying that Anne's conspiring with each other, that might be the lie, but it might also
Yeah.
be the truth. And the best
Mhm.
lies are based on a version of the truth, right? So you
Absolutely.
tell a story, you just change a few of the details, and then the lie becomes an efficient lie. And go ahead, Diggle.
The situation that I question the most, the one that I don't believe, okay? I do not believe Ray coming forth saying that Ann and Turby are working together to do this, to do that. It's obvious they're not. There's no love lost between the two of those two, obvious, okay? And it just doesn't make any sense. Cy is playing, this is my opinion again, Cy is playing some kind of a game. I don't know what the goal here is. It doesn't make sense as to what the goal even could be, okay? There's people on one side of the fence saying that he's trying to rage bait the prosecution and this and that to get them to do. I don't see that. I just see him doing something that doesn't make sense here. I don't know what the goal here is. It's almost like he's now trying to confuse the masses to throw
Mhm.
a huge wrench right in the middle of the you know what I mean, the gear
Mm-hmm.
coil, and screw everything up is what I see.
Mm-hmm.
I
And
don't see.
he's proud to do so.
I agree,
he
very
was
much so.
all smiles on that interview, and it was disgusting.
It was very odd. There was a strange. I mean, it may mean nothing. I get vibes from people and from things when I'm listening to them, watching them, talking to them. I got a very strange vibe from his interviews every time he was surrounded with the Goncalves family. In one
If you
sense, I
want to
feel
talk
like
strange vibes, Chris Whitcomb gives the strangest, in my opinion.
he definitely gives off a vibe that is very uncomfortable. I agree with. Even just during the private conversations we had behind the scenes with him, it was just something's wrong, something's off.
He's
But
got
It's
car
like he's
salesman.
hypnotizing. He's hypnotizing the viewers. He's hypnotizing the panelists.
He's got car salesman vibes.
he does. He does. Good call,
Yeah.
Lori. Very good call.
He's a very good talker.
He's a manipulator. Period. This is his job, folks. He's a professional manipulator. That's what he does.
And if you notice when they start attacking each other's character, that's what they do. If you notice, that happens a lot. It happened a lot with the Goncalves interview too.
Yeah.
Is that that started happening? Instead of addressing the facts, they go right. A lot of them go right to the character assassination attacks. Instead of addressing the facts, and that's the whole point.
Yeah.
It's so that the facts don't get addressed.
It seems to be a good point because every time Chris has an interview, he goes all the way around a situation to explain something, as we've seen. And I agree with Bubbles real quick before I go into that. She said, as I said, they are playing games. They're all playing games at the expense of 4 young dead young adults, and justice in a man's life. It is disgusting because that is where the focus should be. And they don't seem to care. They're just doing what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
I think most people are disenchanted with Anne at this point because she has not spoke. I'll say that. I think if she would have spoken more than just to go at Turby and discredit him, people would probably be looking at her differently, I think. But she hasn't. She hasn't. And that's probably for her own well-being. I think Eddie's the one that said that no matter what the situation was, imagine the backlash that would come forth if Anne came forward and said anything. I do agree with that because of who she is and who she was involved with. So it's going to be rough like that, no matter what. But at the same time, with what's going on, I expect that she should still make a statement to kind of clear the air a little bit, in my opinion.
But Dago, what can she say? Would she say, I did give it to him. He knew all about it. I mean, what could she say? I don't know how she can redeem herself.
Well, I mean, you can't really prove yourself. You're correct. You can't show that it happened. I agree with that. Jesse had to leave us. His children got up. It is early morning for Jesse in Thailand, so he's got to do his dad duties. And thank you, Jesse, for being here. He will be in the chat with us, though. I was going to say, hold on, guys. I'll be right back. Keep going. You don't have to hold on. Keep talking. I'll be right back with you.
I don't like Bryan Enton.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently he is trying to look at things allegedly in a good light. I don't know. I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah, I think he himself is a little confused on some things. But because of some emotionalism, a lot of people get hooked into the emotionalism. And once you get hooked in emotionally and stay there, that can cloud your discernment. And
yes, he's very emotional about it.
Yeah.
His entire career was started based on this case, and
sure.
So I could see why he would be like, I got it wrong. It would be really hard to come to that.
Right. Sure. And then, I've heard this saying before, emotions can be hacked. So, the powers that be know that, that's a well-known thing. If you can get to somebody emotionally, then you have a bit of control over them. You can steer them a bit into where you want them to go, if you can get them to react emotionally.
Which is what the prosecution clearly was doing, and whoever is talking to the Goncalves family.
Right. And this is why I say, I don't go around. I've never released anything bad about the Goncalves. I talk about what they talk about. I address what they address. When, I talk about what's right, what's wrong. I don't want to go after them as people because that's not my goal. I think that, if anything, I do have a great compassion for their loss, most definitely. And I do believe that there is mourning still going on. I think I can see how it's affecting them. And I can see how people and very early on had capitalized on that. So starting with the text messages that were going on between Steve G and what was her name? Her name's on the tip of my tongue, but I think you guys know what I'm talking about because they went on the internet. But those kind of things were right in there, like in the beginning, and they're trying to get information, and oh, I got information for you, and oh, you poor thing, I'm on your side. Like you could be when you're so vulnerable when you're going through something like that, and then now at this juncture, I think they want to feel empowered, over this whole thing. But at the same time, I think there are other factors playing a part. They may be looking at other things that, I think have gotten a hold of them. So other opportunities and things of that nature. And who knows what else. But it's because a lot of what's happening there doesn't make sense. So yeah, that's the whole point. That's why you see people like Nancy Grace coming out, and other people on the law and crime and people coming out and saying all the same stuff. It's just, they want to control what's going on. They're, and they want to control the narrative. They're going to get to people emotionally. You can see that a lot when you got people calling out pro-burgers and and how it causes conflict with the people in the crime community. So it's I think it's very, whoever's doing it, it's very effective in a lot of ways. So that's why I try to stay objective.
The one thing though with Steve and Christy, I've also given them a lot of grace. I understand their loss is huge, and they, to me, I feel like they're they're probably living in a state of constant. I feel like lately they they look like they're drinking like all the time when they're
Yes.
online. Now, with that being said, they, especially Steve Goncalves, Chrissy is just flat out mean, okay? But with Steve, he lies. And aside from that, some of the things that come out of his mouth, he threatens people.
Oh yeah.
He threatens people, and then when I say threatens, I mean he like to kill them. Okay, I that cannot be condoned.
No,
Well,
no, no,
So
no,
with
no, no, no.
with
Yep.
that being said, there is only so much grace that you can give to the Gonsalves family until it's time to say that's enough.
so
We
that
under
was
we
uh,
understand where you're coming from, but enough is enough.
Right.
that
No, I
that was
100% agree. Yep.
the basis of the actual open discussion today. The other stuff we talked about is amazing as well, but the actual basis to the open discussion was the fact that on the verdict room last night. 1 minute, this is driving me nuts. Hold on. I'm sorry, you guys. Give me one
All
second.
right.
I never turn this stuff off when I'm supposed to. Okay. So anyway, of course, most of you that were watching the verdict room saw myself, Logan, Dylan, and Mikey. We reviewed the Goncalves interview last night with Drunk Turkey, and boy, oh boy, oh boy, that was the basis of this open discussion because a lot of people said this needs talked about. This is not okay. This is the problem, and I'll be honest with you guys. I'm going to start it off with this, okay? I said this earlier. I said this at the beginning. I said this last night. I said this morning on, where the hell was I? Oh, I said it within my Discord. I have tried for 4 years to give the grace that I believe somebody that has lost a child deserves to them as a family. And I have repeatedly, pinched my tongue or whatever you call that, bit my tongue. Sorry, not pinched it. That's weird. Bit my tongue, and covered my mouth and just withheld from stating certain things that I would want to say because of that. But Lori's right. Okay. Crime and Chaos is right. She's absolutely correct because I think they have, and I hate to say this because it's really a sad thing to say, and it's disgusting. I think they've played off of everybody's emotions. Okay, I think that's a fact. I said a long time ago. I feel as though I made excuses for their actions. I'll just put it that way. They never got a chance to grieve. That was my answer to why they act like they do. Okay, and it's probably true. They didn't. They never grieved. They just went right into, as Steve likes to call it, I'm built for war. They went into war mode, whatever you want to call it. Okay. No excuse at this point. They have degraded. They have like disgraced. They have um, anything you can do to a person in a bad way. They have basically done it. Okay. With verbally. They have had many people that have tried to, people that have donated to them. I donated to them in the beginning because of their loss, so on and so forth. A lot of people have, okay? They've come out and called us trailer trash. They've called us stupid. They've called us ignorant. They've called us white trash, whatever trash they can call us. And last night, they iced the cake. And I was fucking done. I'm still done. And at this point, I have no respect. I have nothing but a slight amount of condolences in my soul for them because of their loss of a child. Nobody can ever let go of that. Nobody can ever condemn anybody for the loss of their own child, no matter what the situation is. Somebody that I absolutely couldn't stand, I'm still going to have condolences towards them for losing their child. But at this point, and please excuse my phrasing because I'm beyond done with this shit. At this point, fuck the rest of it because they're disgusting. They're nasty people. They're hurtful people. They're mean. And I tried to play it off as there's anger. There should be anger, of course. You're attacking people that have said decent things to you. People that have been here from day one to try to find a real answer as to what happened to your child, and you don't want it. You have literally told us to stop reading the documents because you don't. Okay? I don't give a fuck.
Totally
I don't give a fuck what you do. You do what you do. I'm doing what I do. And if you don't like it, somebody's got to do it. Dylan has said the same thing before. Somebody has to fucking care because it doesn't seem at all like you do. All you want to do is degrade and demean anybody and everybody that comes around. And I'm fucking done with it. I'm fucking done with it. It's disgusting. He said something yesterday that made me want to vomit on myself. Okay? He's talking about somebody, and whether you like Bryan Kohberger or you don't, I don't give two shits at this point. Please excuse my language, everybody, okay? But it is what it is at this point. When he called and dropped that hard R word, I do not deal with that word. I don't like that word. I've never liked that word. Not even when I was a child and it did get flung around between us and our generation. It still felt uncomfortable. But the way he used it in referencing somebody as a kindergarten
That's insane. I didn't even.
I was done.
Yes.
I was done. There's no
some words you can't use like that. Those are kind of words they're not yet. Exactly like you said, like Gen X, we used that when we were stupid teenagers and young people. We know better than that now, especially now.
There is no excuse. There's no excuse. Isn't. I don't care what your reason is. I don't care what happened to you. I don't care who you are. That, and folks, I sat back. I took a deep breath. I just got dead quiet because I knew what I was going to say. And I didn't say it because I didn't want to blow up, okay? But the point is, enough is enough. I don't care what you've been through at this point. I don't care what has happened to you at this point. I'm sorry you lost your child. That's where it stops. That's the last thing I'm going to say like that. You do not deserve the attention, the grace that you've been given. You don't deserve any of that at any point, in my opinion.
Right. Listen, I
Hold
totally
on 1
agree.
minute.
And there's a difference between like, we obviously would have sympathy for parents that have lost a child, especially in a horrific manner. That is not a question, whatever. But when you act like the names that you're calling other people, it's absolutely vile. Nobody
Yeah.
should be able to
That
talk about people like this on TV. That whoever was doing these interviews is absolutely disgusting for allowing it on their channel. It's absolutely wrong.
Do you know how many death threats they have put out over the past 4 years?
Oh yeah.
It's hard. I can't. And I mean, they're legit death threats, Dago. They're not like, oh, I wish he was dead. This is real.
They threatened Dr. Brent Turby last night as well. He did. He didn't throw a death threat out, but he said, "I'm coming for you." That's a threat, folks.
See,
The thing-
no,
This is what I'm talking
bully.
about.
He's a bully, and he's a little bitch.
This
Sorry.
goes beyond bullying, in my opinion. Okay?
Yeah.
There's something
Wrong.
Yeah.
there's something else going on behind this. Okay, you're not a good person. I don't care how much you think you are. You're not a good person for doing and saying. There's been multiple times you've threatened that Bryan Kohberger is going to be taken out. Many. Okay,
He
you
did it
threatened.
again last night too.
Yes, he did. And then he said, when it happens, when they,
Something.
and he doesn't even say death penalty. You're right, Lori. He did more than once.
And he mentioned something about the big people in the prison, and that Bryan was really big time. I can't remember his exact wording, but he mentioned Peruvians, like he mentioned
Yeah,
Peru,
yeah.
and he mentioned the way he worded it was like that Bryan was telling or snitching on Peruvians and so many other words. You'd have
Yeah.
to do it.
Right. And that
How does he know that?
he doesn't know how,
that.
that's the
He
problem.
doesn't.
He doesn't know half
doesn't.
of what he's saying.
No,
He could be just throwing that out
He makes
there.
it up. He makes it up.
This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying by holding them accountable. Like, in other words, this is everything I said. Whatever I address, what they say and what they do, and that's what I come for. Because just like what you guys are saying, these things cannot go unaddressed by any measure, because they're very serious things. They're very serious things, and I get it. You know, there are many people around the world who obviously felt some compassion towards them for their loss. I mean, it's horrible what happened, but you can't take that as a free ticket
That's what they did.
to threaten people and think, and do this and do that, and then think that that's okay. It's not okay. And let me tell you, this is a very wise thing, and this is this. Out of the overflow of the heart, the mouth speaks. So your heart your words
Steve
reveal
is
your
52,
heart.
by the way.
He's 52.
Yeah, he's 52. He's the same age.
Yeah.
He's a
So,
year,
yeah, he's in our age
year
group.
older than me. His birthday's in October.
Yeah, and I'm 50. So, out of the overflow of the heart, the mouth speaks.
Well,
So, there you go.
that's
what you say
a very
reveals
good
you.
point. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he went as far as to call. This is out of pure anger, mind you, pure anger, and he's angry because I think he's angry because he knows it's possible. I think he's scared, for one, that it's possible that Turby's right. Okay.
Yep.
And that if it is, that's going to destroy the WSU lawsuit, because
Sure.
and here in turn, this Bryan doing the PCR thing, he knows this as well, is going to put a stop motion on the WSU lawsuit, if not throw the whole fucking thing out at some point. There's that, okay? But he went as far as to call Dr. Turby a sexual predator last night, you guys. That there's no bounds for these people at this point. They have no limits. You can't do this shit.
Yeah, you can't. You cannot. I'm thinking about at the plea sentencing that, when Christy read off what she read off about, stuff that I can't even repeat because I find it shameful. About getting this in jail, and you're going to get this, the letter, what I'm talking about.
Yes, of course.
Trying to be, being that's perverted. And then then you have Olivier, however you say your name.
Olivia.
Her saying, suggesting that, in her speech, that he's a pedo.
Oh my God, yeah. They refer. There's so much. I've
I
never
mean-
seen so much sexual-based talk
I'm like, what are you
out of a
talking
case where
about?
there's no sexual aspect to it at all.
There's absolutely nothing to back that up either. It's like, what are you doing?
There's
like,
something
what are you
going on
doing?
there, you guys. Something is wrong behind the scenes here.
And he's the one who's like, this is not a movie. You're making it a movie, bro. It's already bad enough. Why are you adding this awful component? There's no proof of that. Just be glad that your daughter was not violated in that manner, okay?
Yeah.
He refers to this Hollywood shit constantly, you guys, and you're the one that's doing this.
He's projecting all the time.
Yeah. It's uncalled for. And this is what I'm saying. Like, these things have to be, they have to be addressed. You can only go so far with things before you have to be held accountable. You just can't come up and spew at the mouth. It's not wise.
Turvey needs to sue the shit out of him.
There are consequences.
I hope he does. At this point, I hope he does.
I really do.
Defamation of character, slander. There's multiple things that he has said now at this point. And I never used, and I still don't wish horrible things on people, guys, especially with what somebody like that has already been through. But at this point, you are hurting people. Okay, you're hurting people. You don't have the right, because of your loss, to lash out to hurt other people. I'm sorry that you don't. And whatever at this point comes for you at this point, I'm sorry, but you brought it on yourself. You don't deserve the grace that you've been given at this point. You're very, very nasty people, and you're bringing your other children into this. Shame on you. It's wrong.
Yeah.
And I'm being nice about it. I'm trying to keep my words down. There's so many things I would love to say right now, but I'm not going to do it.
I try not to mirror what they do. Like,
that's exactly it. It feels like
because
it
then
makes
we become
me the same.
then we become like them, and that's not what we're doing here.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. We're just done making excuses for them anymore.
Right. We met the real Goncalves, Steve Goncalves, last night, folks. That's who he is. Don't let it slip your mind, because don't get it wrong. That is the man, and those are the people that we truly should be seeing on a regular. And here's the thing. This wonderful organization they've created, this foundation, okay, that in their daughter's name, Murder has a wallet, okay? This foundation they've created.
Has a wallet, yeah.
So at this point, I want to see who's going to trust in you to help them when you talk to people like the trash that you do. I wouldn't want to be anywhere near somebody like that when it comes to that situation.
They would probably have my story. Who knows? They'd probably come out and be like, "Look at all the great good I did. I helped so and so," I can just see it now.
He has no idea what they're doing, talking about true crime the way that they do.
Yeah.
It's a joke. It is a joke.
Yeah.
And everything that they talk about has some kind of a weird sexual basis to it, folks. What the hell? It's a strange. It always goes back to the RAPE situations and all that kind of stuff. Why are we talking about this, Steve? Why did you bring this up again? Every conversation he has, it goes back to this.
And Olivia. Yes,
and Olivia. And then everything he said last night, for those of you that were paying attention, remember the interview with Cy. Everything Steve is now saying is stuff that Cy told him now, folks. That's all.
He's gonna, and that's what everybody is doing right now, Dago. They're clinging on to this crap, and it's working, and that's why I can't understand how this is some kind of plan. I can't see it. He's gone so far. It's
I don't believe it either.
Vile.
I don't.
It's absolutely vile. I mean,
I fully agree.
He's messing with them, and he knows it.
And if he can keep saying these crazy things, it muddies and it muffles this.
Why is this allowed? First of all, why is it allowed?
Yeah, the people that are giving them platforms to speak this way. I mean, whoever did that interview literally allowed Steve to make a threat and accuse Bryan of informing on gangs so that they have a reason to attack him.
That's what they're trying to do.
He's trying every avenue to make this man not on this earth anymore. I mean, how how much further can he take this without having any ramifications?
Here's what I want to know. If and when, and God forbid it does, I pray to God it does, and I've been worried about this for a while now, as I said before. If and when something horrible were to happen, and God, again, I hope, pray to God I'm wrong, to Bryan, and then it's proven that Bryan had nothing to do with this, was not the one, had nothing. I want to know what you're going to say to the world at that point then.
Yep. You have to backpedal the whole entire narrative. The whole everything they've written on all this time, it have to be destroyed. They wouldn't.
They won't apologize. They will not ever apologize.
They are so far gone. I'm not even sure that the truth will sink in at this point. It's so sad. I mean, but it
really is.
Court, I feel like they're gonna still turn it into Bryan, no matter what, is the guy. And
they would find a way. I've already said this a long time ago.
To twist it.
They could show absolute proof, okay, of the people that actually did it and that Bryan had nothing to do with it, and they would still find a way to make it about Bryan.
Yes.
They have so much hate in them.
Yep.
And even before Kaylee's life was taken, I feel that there was hate within them beforehand, okay?
Oh,
they hate monger. They hate monger.
There's hate in their heart. That's
yes.
who they are in their soul, and it's
a very scary thing.
It's scary, very scary. And then now we're giving them mainstream media platforms, and everybody is falling for it hook, line, and sinker.
And they talk about everybody out here doing this and doing that. These people are some of the worst grifters I've ever seen in my life. I swear to God, they really are. And
yes, they are.
On the back of the death of their daughter. That's sad to me.
Yep. And at the expense of the truth.
Yeah.
What happened to their daughter?
They don't care about it.
No. That's what gets me. That's what gets me. This is my truest contention with them as far as their pushback and on all of this. And that is, especially with everything that has come out since last year, how could you not want true justice and every individual held accountable for the death of your daughter?
They believe that they do, though. That's the problem.
I agree.
They really, truly believe that he is the guy. And that's the scare. That's why it's even more scary, too.
And it's like, even with we already have extensively even talked about this kind of stuff with the autopsy results, the different weapons that were involved. I mean, and then the multiple people, not just Kaylee. So, my point is, I would want to know, and I would want to know everybody. So and this is the thing they get twisted too. I don't know why they have this in their minds. I honestly don't know, but it's not that we're pro burgers, okay? It's not pro Kohberger. It's not.
No.
At all. That's not why we're here.
If it was Sam Smith, if it was Tom Jones, if it was...
Yeah, this is where they get it wrong. And I think this is where it clouds their understanding a whole lot, because they've sold themselves this lie, okay?
Absolutely.
They sold themselves this lie, yeah. And so... Yeah. We're not pro burgers, and anybody else who follows their narrative. We are pro justice. We are pro truth, right? So
absolutely,
this would be for anybody in this predicament, because this affects everybody, whether we know it or not. This is about our justice system,
right?
And and so we want to see fairness, and this is what we do. This is not about being a fan or fangirling, fanguying over Bryan Kohberger. We don't even know the dude. Okay?
No, and I've said it many times. I don't care if Bryan was the one that did it or not. It's how they went about trying to force it to be him, and the investigation is what it is.
Yes, that's the point.
That's what the problem
we're contending. Exactly.
And that is why we are pro-truthers and justice seekers, period. That's it.
That's it. It has
Because we
nothing else to do
know
with it.
Welcome
that-
back, Lori.
We know
Yep.
that the truth, it did not happen the way that they said,
Thank you.
period, at all. It did
Here-
not happen.
And here's the thing: a lot of these experts, okay, that do their jobs just as much as we do. Okay, people have integrity, folks. People do their jobs because, okay, when I became a firefighter and got involved in EMS, I did it because I wanted to help people, and because I like the lights and the sirens. Okay, and the excitement and the adrenaline rush and all that fun stuff. I enjoyed it, but mostly because I wanted to help people. Period. That's
Mhm.
why I did it. When people become police officers, they do it because they want to help people. When my wife became a dialysis technician and a phlebotomist, she did it because she wants to help people. When my
Yes.
mother became a nurse, it was to help people. That's why people do the jobs they do.
Mhm.
Okay, that is what it's all about. Turby does what he does because he wants to help bring justice in a horrible situation. And when you're in the midst of doing that and you see things that you know are wrong, okay, I would do the same thing. You're
I
going to
know.
call it out. You're
That's
going to call it out,
That's
and
what
you
I'm
should.
saying.
And if
He
you
said
don't call
that-
it out, when you don't call it out, who are you then? Ask yourself that question if you're not calling it out.
That's
Sorry.
right.
She,
That's right.
He said this was his civil duty or civic.
Thank you. There it is, right there.
Right.
As a human being, when you know something is wrong, when you know somebody's being shafted, when you know somebody's being
Mhm.
railroaded, when you're taking somebody's life away from them and sacrificing their life just to excuse the mistakes and the lies that you have created, no, it's not okay. Anybody that doesn't do it, shame on you.
That's right. Especially when you have the power to say
That's-
something
yes.
like that.
and I think that's why Turvey did exactly the way he did. And he never
Absolutely.
we talk about the fact that he didn't mention Cy Ray by name at all in his interview. At all. That's
Turvey
the
didn't.
difference.
And that's the other thing is
No.
Turby, and that's something Steve is wrong on again. Dr. Turby never said Steve or Christy Goncalves. He never said the name Goncalves.
Nope.
He said the families.
Yeah.
And
That
you know what?
didn't have your name, but you
Nope.
said his name very clearly when you went after him last night.
And same with Cy Ray. He never said Cy Ray. He never
And y-
said defense expert.
Yep. And
See?
Sweet Pea, that's a great point because um this all started with like Turvey, he did the interview first, and then after that Cy Ray did his interview, and that's pretty much when the war began, so to speak, because Cy Ray, when he interviewed, he's the one who then started bashing on Turvey. So then Turvey then, in effect, he did his next interview and then he defended himself. That's how I look at it.
Well, he
was
should have too. I agree with you.
defending
100%. He was responding to more bullshit that people are trying to spread about this case.
Right. Yeah. So I feel that none of this really would have started if it were not for Cy Ray coming out and spouting his BS that he's been spouting since he came out and started speaking. I feel that this is all Cy Ray. That's just my opinion. And we all
Thank you,
know
Betty.
that he has contradicted himself entirely, like totally, since the he started coming out.
She did take him down, Mark. She took them all down. And sorry to cut if I cut you off, Lori, I didn't mean to, but she did take those down. And me because in the very beginning, if you remember Olivia, Chronicles of Olivia, she didn't go either way. She was still looking into things. And conveniently enough, she just disappeared at some point and everything of hers was gone. So think about that. And that's
Well,
she's
she's
now
not-
married to their son.
She's under like their spell now. I mean, poor thing, blink twice.
What choice does she have?
Yeah.
Blink twice if you need help.
If you need help.
Yeah, right. Do the hand signal thing.
Yeah,
you know
that's
what I mean?
I know. I was waiting for that in the wedding photos. But
Exactly.
No, but this is this is not right. Things that people are doing is not right. There's a lot of that I just can't believe. I feel like I'm like watching something from high school, like sometimes, and I go, is this reality? We should be talking about facts. We should be, kind of pointing in that direction, or at least pursuing the facts. And at this point, it's gotten really crazy, and it's gotten really personal, and it's gotten out of hand. And people keep giving platforms to it, and that's why it's able to reach the way it is. So I don't know why, but if I was interviewing, I wouldn't be allowing that. In fact, I'd probably form my questions in a way to sort of steer clear of all of that extra crap that nobody needs to hear. We just want to hear the right stuff, not all this other stuff, how you feel about people. I mean, it's in those types of interviews.
What did he say about Xana?
It was the way he referred to. He said Xana was fighting her ass off, and then he said some weird.
Oh yeah, he did, about her being on the floor.
Her ass on the floor or something. We were like, what?
It was her ass print. Her ass print on. He said that's what he said. It was on the floor.
About that.
I don't know what he was talking about. That was so weird.
Because but that's not something you talk about. Like
right.
Like we know it was there. We saw. Okay, we all saw we saw the photos, right? I mean, but
the butt prints on the floor, like
to talk about.
He gets her little ass. That's what he said. Her little ass
disgusting.
On the floor, blood pond, or whatever the hell it was. But it was like, what? Here's the thing.
Oh my God.
When he gets worked up, I've noticed when he gets excited or angry or worked up, well, that's when we see who he really is, and he starts saying crazy shit that just comes flying out of his mouth that doesn't make sense, and he has no control, and that's a dangerous thing.
That is dangerous.
That's a very dangerous thing. He said butt. You're right, Mountain Man. He said butt.
But yeah, I mean, why are you talking about her behind? I mean, this is a woman that was like, that's not even what you say. Yeah, she fought hard. You don't need to.
You could have left it right there.
That's it. That's what we all say. She fought as hard as anyone could possibly fight against someone. She did everything.
That's all he had to say. Like, that was it. She fought her ass off, and good job. And I agree with that. Leave it go at that point. You didn't need to keep going. Like I said, folks, I think we really met 4 years into this case. We actually finally met the real Steve Goncalves last night, and it's a damn shame. And it makes me wonder. We said this last night. Those rumors that we heard that they came out real quick and tried to backtrack on about Kaylee not wanting to be around them and staying away from them, staying with her aunt, blah, blah, blah. I really, truly wonder how true that is at this point now. Because if I had to deal with that, I wouldn't want to be around it either.
I mean, you see that Christy is just mean. And then you have Steve, who will just let his mouth run. I could not imagine.
Nonstop.
I mean, all the time, just at you. I would cut off ties too.
High emotion travels faster than objective analysis. That's the thing. High emotion travels faster than objective analysis. People who want to be genuine about their approach and intention are going to think about what they say and how they say it. I agree. And in this point, it's just a word vomit at this point, really. And it's a shame because you lose credibility when you do that, and you lose authority when you do that.
Big time.
And this is why I say, when I came into here, I'm not perfect by any measure. Never will claim that.
Right.
But I will say that, because I care so much about what we are doing here, everybody, we talking about a common sharing, whatever the case may be, creating that, not to fall into the same traps.
Right.
And, and we can talk about and definitely address those things. Yes. Yeah. Hold people accountable for sure. But it's like agree. If we start sounding like that, it's like, that's where you lose it. You lose credibility, you lose authority and objectivity. and those are things we really need, you know, to keep things in the way that they need to be. But yeah, they now it's just they've gotten really comfortable. That's what it is. They've
Way
just gotten
too
really
comfortable,
comfortable.
obviously, or this wouldn't
Yeah.
be happening.
Yeah, they've
Yeah,
gotten real
and
comfortable.
out of everything that he said last night, Dago, and whoever else saw it last night, what did you get out of everything that came out of his mouth? I didn't get anything of
The only
value.
thing I got that came out of his mouth is that they are angry, mean, very vengeful and vindictive people is what I got out of it, Lori. That's what I got.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't say anything new.
No,
He
nope,
didn't say anything of
nothing about the case that was of any
value.
substance, right?
Yeah, there was literally nothing that
And
no substance
nothing.
whatsoever
No, it
to
was just
an
it was
appeal.
a vengeance, a lash out is all that was.
Yeah.
A platform to cuss people out, condemn people, demean, degrade, all of it. And then they go and make statements like regularly that make no sense, okay? And then they just go with their family page on Facebook. Sometimes I blame this car, and they show a photograph of Kaylee's vehicle for Kaylee being murdered.
Oh, you know what? Speaking of Facebook
Oh, I see.
and the Goncalveses, did you know there's a group that no guilters are allowed in.
Yeah.
And
That group.
the Goncalveses are trying to infiltrate that group.
I
Yeah.
know that guy's name, that Brett something or something. I don't know.
It's Eric Blake.
Eric, yeah.
Yeah, Eric Blake.
And
then
it's
there's
so freaking obvious. Oh my.
yeah, there's another one too.
Oh,
I can't remember the other name, but they posted the two anonymous ones that they're fully aware of. That the Christy and Olivia both go by these anonymous names, and they
Yeah.
both tried to infiltrate this group and get into the group, and they were both declined. And they're like, we know who you are. You're not welcome in this group.
Good.
I can't believe what is the purpose of them trying to do that though?
Because
Why?
they can get in and watch and see.
They want to
have
get ahead of it.
They need to have control, Lori.
Mhm.
And they've said it from their own mouths.
That's
They want to
crazy.
control every aspect of this because their daughter died. They think they
Something wrong
deserve to
with
control
them.
every aspect of this.
There's something very wrong with them. And then I wonder with Steve's anger last night if he might have heard something negative about his Wright State or blah, blah, blah. Sorry, I do that every time. Washington State University
Right.
lawsuit. Negative. Like it's
I
not
think
happening.
so because he was on the edge, Lori. He was very angry,
He
like
was.
instantly. So I think, not to mention the stuff that Cy was telling them, okay, about basically Cy. Well, he did. It wasn't basic. It was real. Cy said, if Bryan gets to trial, he's going to walk. End of story. He told him that. That flipped them out. They were pissed off. Olivia was pissed off. He's not going to get a trial. He's not going to even get a hearing. This isn't going to happen. That's going to happen. You were wrong, sweetheart. You are way so wrong because if it can be proved in an evidentiary hearing that Bryan was coerced in any way, shape, or form, if there was lies told between the defense team and him, if things were withheld from him, that's all it takes. He will definitely get a hearing. Okay.
Not
Well,
to
he
mention the other stuff.
There's many other things.
Just that though is enough. Just that is
yes.
enough. But I mean,
and I have as long as Hitler does what he should do, okay, which I have a feeling he may because doesn't want anybody else to get their hands on this. If he did anything possibly wrong at all, took any shortcuts, did this, did that, he doesn't want anybody else's hands in that mess. Okay.
That's what I'm scared of.
I believe that he's going to approve it. That's my opinion. That's all I'm saying. So
mine too.
You know, I hope he doesn't. I hope he doesn't, you guys.
I would rather it just go, and I would rather him deny it, go up to the Supreme
Get out of that court system. Yes.
And hopefully there are some honest people on the way up there. I don't know what to say. Because
Yes, he needs to go federal, in my opinion, and he needs to be the hell away from Hitler and everybody else, and let him go federal and deal with it.
Yeah, and then would he have to get a federal attorney, like a federal attorney too, so that would be like maybe something better for him, you know.
I can agree. I that's why I think it would be the best thing for Hitler too, but I don't think he will. I don't think he's very controlling. Okay. That being said, I think that's why he will approve it so he can stay with it and he can keep control of it and he can make sure that things go down the way he wants them to. This is again my opinion.
But then they'll go
I
down
hope
the
I'm wrong.
same, though. They'll go down the same unless, again, he has an attorney that will
Thank you, Natasha.
to go up against this guy. I mean, I don't think really at the point that Anne was at, she was not in a position to go any further with him. But so hopefully, if we get somebody else, they would.
Right.
So if Hitler approves it, and let's say let's say Hitler. This is my thought. If Hitler is corrupt and he was involved, had his hands in all this, and he denies it, then Kohberger can file an appeal and it goes to state. So Hitler's out. His hands are no more involved. So Hitler has a lot on his plate to make a decision. So I feel if Hitler is corrupt and he's involved, he is going to have to let Kohberger walk, because they're not going to want a trial. They're not going to want all this to come out. So I really feel that he's going to have to let Kohberger walk on a technicality.
Well,
and if Hitler is not involved, and he has been reading all these documents and he's seeing all the corruption and everything that he wasn't involved in, then he's going to probably deny it because he's just a jackass, and as we all know, and he may deny it, or maybe he can follow the actual guidelines and let it go to trial, or Kohberger's going to have to, go to the Supreme Court. But I think like Dago said, we'll just have to see what happens.
and that's the sad part, is the waiting game that sucks. But I think it's a give or take. It's 50-50 in my opinion. It could happen either way. I agree with that, Chris, by the way. Yes. I can't I don't want it to be true, but I feel like I said, he's already been dealing with this case from before. His hands were in it, and God forbid he made some mistakes somewhere, didn't review something, didn't read something, which I don't think he read out on any of the case. That's my opinion, but didn't. And if he were to disallow this, they're going to appeal it, and then it'll go to the state level, I do believe, or something like that, and then he'll appeal it to federal. If it gets to federal level, I think that would be scary for Hitler, because it's going to come back on him in some way and make him look like a dumbass. Okay. And I think that's what he doesn't want to happen, which is why I believe he's going to approve it. I hope I'm wrong. I really do, because I don't want him touching this anymore. I think he caused too much bullshit already, and I think he needs to be the hell away from this, like, as fast as possible. So thank you, Natasha. Welcome to the sauce. Congrats on 2 months. Happy day anniversary, dear. So
what do you
my
think
opinion.
about his autism?
Brian?
Yeah.
That's a huge issue for me.
Yeah, like, did somebody said that Hitler, in a roundabout way, mentioned the autism spectrum disorder in his questions during the change of plea? Did he question him enough in the change of plea?
I mean, he did ask him all the questions. Here's the thing with that whole thing, though. I've said this already. I think we talked about this once before, but
I'm
I'm glad you
sorry.
brought. No. I'm glad
If
you
you
brought
did, I
it back
missed
up.
it.
I'm glad you brought it back up, because I think it's important.
Okay, thanks. Sorry.
Brian answered all of his questions, and I know that's going to get brought to the table. He's going to say, if and when you said, yes, I killed every one of them. No, I was not coerced. No, this didn't happen. Yes, that happened. You answered all the questions on that questionnaire. Okay. Here's the difference, though. Brian did not know that he was being lied to at that time. Brian did not know that there were things being withheld from him at that time. Brian did not realize he was being coerced. Brian didn't know that they brought his family in to use, we heard Toby explain that Anne basically was saying, you know, she couldn't get him to go for the plea deal. She couldn't get him to go for the plea deal. So they went and brought his family in to use against him to get them to talk him into it, which worked. That being said, his family is going to be able to testify to this. His own words that he said in the PCR himself stated the plea talks, the things that happened in the plea talks need to be brought to light and discussed very badly. There was some crazy things that happened there. So at that point, that's all he needs to show. He didn't know. So that's all he's got to do, in my opinion, is tell him, I didn't know, Your Honor. I'm sorry. I didn't know this was going on. I didn't think this was happening. I was told this is what it was. I believed in what she told me. End of story. Prove him wrong. They can't. So if he gets a decent enough attorney, which I struggle with that, he'll be able to support that, in my opinion. But I don't know, you guys. I don't know. I'm a little nervous about this. I really am.
I was thinking, if Hippler ends up just dismissing this and Bryan is free, no further investigation none of this will come to light any further than what it already has. So that in turn will also make Bryan look like he got away with it because he never had to prove his innocence type thing. And it would put a huge target on Bryan, especially if he was just released without any trial or anything. I think that would look really bad for Bryan, and I'm really nervous for him for even just that. Like, it would be great, obviously, if he was released, but that doesn't really provide any justice of the truth, which is why we're here.
Agreed.
I agree with you, but I think the IgG and all the things that the PCR was built on, we all know that it was a farce.
Well,
So,
yeah, of course. I mean, we know everything is, but what I'm saying is, like, if Hitler lets him out, all these people that believe
think he's guilty.
still guilty, he has no way to actually prove himself.
Defend himself.
Yeah, and I can see this whole mob mentality coming at him.
Yeah, I'm sure that old Hitler would make it clear of why he's being released and, put on a nice little show just like they did during the police
There needs to be some
sentencing.
sort of technicality is what I'm thinking. He could just say, oh yeah, it looks like Ann messed up, but he's really guilty, but he legally we can't hold him accountable. So
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
That's how shady they are in Idaho, though.
He doesn't need to say Bryan's innocent, and that's why we're letting him go. It's not going to be that. He's going to say that legally we can't try him based on the way this went down.
Right. That's what I'm saying, though. I don't put it past them to do something like that to Bryan Kohberger because it lets them off the hook from going to trial because they don't want to go to trial.
No, that's what I'm saying.
And, yeah.
This is the way. If anything that just goes down, I think Hitler's going to just let him go.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I forgot that I was going to make that statement earlier. This can go a couple different ways, but one of the ways that we haven't talked about a whole lot that it could go is with everything that's happened, with all these people coming forward and doing things they're probably not supposed to be doing, blah, 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 so on and so forth. He could very well toss this whole thing.
Yep.
And say, you know what? No, we're done with this bullshit. I'm done with it.
Because they really should, Dago. They really should.
I agree that they should, but if he does, there's still no trial, and I think that puts Bryan in even more danger than he's possibly already in.
Yep.
Okay? There needs to be a trial to show everything to the world and then show the proof. if or lack thereof, okay? But I still think there should be a trial no matter what. But he should be, in my opinion, the whole case should be tossed and he should be set free because of the way they did everything.
Right. And that's what it's almost like a catch-22.
It is.
Yeah. And just
It
think,
very
you know,
much is.
if he was as guilty as they say he is, that why all this chaos? You know, why going out of their way to character assassinate, cause confusion, capitalize on emotions to bring it, you know, to push it further? You know, that tells me a whole lot. That tells
Right.
me that, again, it just points away from him because it's like you're
It
trying
all
to
does.
force it. You're trying to force it, you know? That's what it feels like.
Yes. Yes. Thank you, Fizzy. That's a good point. I wonder if Bryan has a theory. I agree with that. I'm curious. I mean, he's not
If
from
he's
that area, so it would probably
focused,
be really hard for him to know that. Okay. But at the very least, based on what he's seen, I'm imagining he has seen all the discovery. He should know. Maybe he can. Has he done a what do you call those behavioral analysis type scenario with his background? Maybe any of that stuff. What type of a person would do this? All that.
According to Steve Goncalves, it's the Peruvians.
Yeah.
I think he is trying to get the Peruvians to kill him.
That's exactly what I believe.
I
Thank you,
cannot
Written
believe
Dream.
Steve Goncalves said that last night. He did it on purpose. He is trying to get that man killed in
Yes.
prison.
He is.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
horrible.
There he
He's
is.
probably trying to figure out who's
God.
around him or near his cell block or whatever.
Yeah,
He's trying to
it's
figure out who's there.
awful.
City,
Yeah.
I worry about his food. And Steve, because Steve said that, like, about knowing people in the kitchen or whatever. He said something about his food before, and that was like, because he's in custody, is in a cell, 23 hours a day. I mean, the likelihood of somebody else hurting him at this point, it would be unlikely. But he does get food, obviously, from the cafeteria or whatever, and that would be. I'm just very worried about him.
Yeah. Yeah, I have been too. I think most of us are.
For his safety, at least, because he does deserve a trial. He deserves to have all of this come out. And, Steve says that, and he just doesn't realize what would come out in said trial.
Yeah.
I think the only thing we can hope for at this point is that Hitler is not biased, as we
Yeah.
thought, and that he was following the rules, like, because I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know the rules. To me, he seemed like he was incredibly biased, but hopefully he's not, and he assigned a lawyer. That's a good first sign, everybody has said. And then hopefully we will get, some fairness in this, and he's going to get to there's been so much shadiness. If anybody is going to get to be heard, it has to be Bryan Kohberger. With all the shadiness that's went on, you would think that he of all people. I know there's a lot of people saying he has a very tall mountain to climb, but there's also a lot of people saying that with this case, he should be able to do it. So it's 50-50. Is that what you guys are getting?
I hope so.
Yeah.
I really hope so.
Hitler just did not come off good at all. And I can't get past that. I don't think he was fair. But again, I'm not a lawyer. Maybe there was some, Anne wasn't following some sort of rule or, paperwork, legality type thing. I just don't believe that.
Yeah, Hitler, I had said that before, that to me, he seemed like, well, the very first day, he didn't want to be there, and he voiced that. He didn't want to be on the case. He didn't want anything to do with the case, but he was, he had to do it because that's his job. And he just had this attitude, this, you know, chip on his shoulder the entire time. And, I wonder how much of this, you know, I wonder how much of this he's looking at and really, really weighing correctly, because like you mentioned, it really came across to me as him being biased as well. He seemed to be more in the favor of the prosecution.
I mean, if we have somebody like saying that we have a possible of 12 suspects, then how is he not allowed to bring up an alternate perpetrator theory? Like, I feel like there's a lot of evidence that could be brought to make that happen, and was not going to allow that at all.
Yeah, he did say, I remember him saying, Hitler saying something like, well, if you're going to bring something that up like that, you better make sure that you have the proof, have all the proof, which is true, but it's the way he said it, and then I wonder what happened to it, because did they have enough proof, on the alternate perp? Like, we know there's alternate perps. We know that. But like, did they have enough to show him, to convince him? And that was what was going through my mind, because I'm like, well, what happened to it? Because they did try to present that.
Well, if he actually, that was, Hitler had already made up his mind that the white car, that the criminal had, the perpetrator had to have driven the white car. So that was a total BS call on his part, because he said the perpetrator drove. Like, he had already been the judge, jury, and prosecutor on that call.
Yeah, he had his mindset.
Yeah.
that just, and that's kind of how this case has gone. Some things like that this crime happened at 4 a.m. Everybody's 4 a.m., 4 a.m., and the only reason why we have 4 a.m. is because of freaking Dylan. Okay, like, that's all we get from 4 a.m. is Dylan.
And yeah, unless we haven't seen the phone records, and they know for a fact that somehow the phones are showing, like the victims' phones. But I don't know. We've always heard that Kaylee and Maddie's went dark at 2:53. So I don't know. That doesn't make any sense. None of it does, but that's contradictory. So it doesn't make sense. It's actually contradictory to what we've been told with Kaylee and Mallet. I'm sorry, Kaylee and Maddie. It's contradictory, and then we don't know with Xana and Ethan. But
we have a misinformed person in the chat. So just so everybody knows that,
sorry,
we all know that breaking and entering part was not because of him entering someone else's apartment. It was because he was being charged with the crime of burglary of entering 1122. So he would not still be doing the 10 years or whatever.
Right.
And that's so funny, because now we find out that the front door was open the whole time.
Anybody could have walked in. Is that burglary?
Are we just gonna go back and drop that charge now?
That's breaking and entering,
crazy.
Yeah, burglary. Like, what did he actually, take? Like, I see, like, breaking and entering, or just being an unwelcome guest, maybe.
Yeah,
but
burglary. It was burglary, and that's just entering
that's weird.
This where you're not allowed to be entering, and if he didn't commit the crime, there is no burglary. So, and we all know that he didn't. And
right.
There it is.
I think they did that. I still like the theory that they did that charge because of that Idaho code, where it's a protection for Bethany and Dylan and all their lies. I don't know. Have you done a show on that yet, Dago? I know
long time ago.
Oh, you already did one? Oh, I missed it. Okay.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
Okay.
When the charge was first put out.
Oh, okay. And how it protects those two liars.
Yeah, why they did it.
Ah, okay. I missed it. I'll have to go back and watch it.
That was, oh my God, years ago now. Hey, Kathy, get Kathy's Indie Zone in the chat. Good to see you, Miss Kathy.
Hi, Kathy.
She says count 1 indictments for which Kohberger was to stand trial August 25. Burglary with intent to commit a felony. Right.
Yeah, see. I love Kathy's Indie Zone.
Oh,
I'll
she's
tell you,
awesome.
every time she comes with like a new update, like, and I see it in my feed, I'm like, yeah. I'm always like, I gotta hear it.
And yes, Rogue, we have seen the art that Dylan has on her walls.
There's more to come.
Yeah, I got my opinions about that. That's for sure. That was one of the first things when those pictures came out that I noticed.
Oh, I know. I instantly, red flag in my head.
Yeah.
I seen them popping up.
Yeah.
And the fact that, like Love and Other Habits said, the entire case is based on Dylan. That 4 a.m. Somebody in the house with the well, she doesn't even know what to call it. The mask over that only you could see their eyes. And even though she owns one, but
the high knees is what gets me. That one cracks me up every time. I always think of Waluigi. I can't. But like, if you look at the character Waluigi, if anybody hasn't ever seen it before, you got to go Google it because you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Like with the high knees is exactly how he walks. But anyway, that's what I think of when I hear.
So if the whole thing, I agree. And the whole thing is based on her. So where does that leave us?
No, exactly.
We have to rely on what we have. We have, the 227 Scream. Like
they based the entire timeline off of her, I believe, in the beginning and all that. So
the timeline, what happened, what she heard, the fact that this mysterious person went, through out the door and walked past her and ignored her. I mean, none of that technically happened. I mean, if you remove that, all we're left with is that camera footage, basically.
And when you look, I'm sorry, but when you look at the sketches that she had on her wall, okay, and then you realize the wounds, post, I guess they're considered, but they're not. They were called post-mortem wounds that were across Kaylee and Maddie's necks. You can't look past that. I'm sorry.
I know. Like, what were the cops? I mean, there's literally a woman with her head back, and there's the marks on their neck, and she did it, but she couldn't draw the masked man. Did you see that stupid, ridiculous?
Right.
She is lying, people. Like, every single thing that she says is a lie.
There's a lot more.
Never was in that bed. We can all see that bed. I mean,
there's a lot more to that, mind you, that she has in her.
She's dark. She's a dark person.
In her diary, there's something wrong with that. You definitely have to take a look at it. Okay.
So Lana's doing a show about the sketches on the wall.
Yeah, she's going to be covering the sketches as well as the stuff in the journal, from my understanding.
I didn't hear her say that. I hope it's with the journal, because I didn't hear her say that. I only heard that. I really hope she does, though.
She talked about that a long time back. Right, she could get access
she just
to
never hasn't shown it, so I really hope she does. But I know that she's talking about the stuff on the walls for sure, which we have known about, and it's extremely disturbing.
It is. Yeah. That one sketch looks to me, and this is all just my opinion, but when I first saw it, I thought of how much it reminded me of Kaylee. Just the way it's drawn, the hair, the shape of the face, the eyelashes, like the way the eyes were, and then there's all this red, pinkish, it's supposed to look like it's just all over the face and on top of the head, and I'm like, and it's pinned up on there, and I'm going, what is that? That looks really oddly close to what Kaylee looks like. I mean, maybe it's just me, but obviously it's objective. But on my part, but I'm saying like it was eerie post, everything. Now that you see
Yeah.
that and you know what you know, to me it's just really, really freaky. That's all I'm
Yes,
saying.
and baby Ames, no, Hannah never lived there. Maddie used to live in another place with Hannah. They were roommates. Her name was Hannah Cleary. And unfortunately, Hannah supposedly, allegedly took her own life, um, and overdosed on Benadryl, is what we were told. But there's something weird with that. And then one of the other roommates that lived in that house came forward and said that that's not what happened. So on and so forth. So there's a whole other story behind this as well. Um, I don't know what to call it, what to expect out of it. It's a thing, and we looked into it very early on. That's all I can tell you guys, because we were not given any more.
Hey, I have one more question that I just thought of about something Steve said last night. Um, about Dylan and the footprint, the latent footprint at her door. Do you remember how he said that it could be easily explained and we're all just morons for thinking it's a big deal?
Of course,
What the heck did he mean by that? Like, it was obviously cleaned up, and
coming from his
or
mind, it's hard
what
to tell, Lori.
what did he mean by it? Like he was making fun of people, like saying, "Oh yeah, someone was hopping around on one foot with blood on their shoe," or what the heck was he?
It was cleaned
What?
up. You could not see
Yeah.
it, like,
Eh,
until they put that on there. Or is he an idiot?
I really, I just
I
I'm
now
know.
not gonna answer.
remembered
You
it.
can answer
I know.
yourself.
It's
Oh my
been, it was
god.
something that there, I knew I was just thinking about something, like, or something was bothering me about another thing he talked about, that, he makes fun of us about
It's the
things.
stupidest shit. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was one thing he said, that it's a big question that we have that is unanswered, and he's like, there's a very simple explanation for it, and you guys are all dumb for making a big deal about it.
It's like,
That's to
okay, well,
discredit us.
enlighten me. Please tell me about what you think happened, Steve. That would have been my question.
Hmm.
Where do you think that footprint came from, Steve?
Exactly what I would have done. Asked him a
I,
question. Okay, all right.
I'm
Well, what do
so
you
dumb.
think?
I'm so dumb. Please explain it to me since you're so smart.
Yeah.
Well, the funny thing is he thinks that he's being smug, or he tries to act like he knows something. He's calling people dumb, and it turns out that he's wrong usually when he does that, which makes
Right.
him look even twice as stupid.
Yeah. And he's trying to discredit. He's just hoping nobody thinks for themselves at that point. He's trying to discredit and discourage. That's what that is. Like, you guys, it's really big, like really stupid that, like, come on, guys. That to me is like trying to discredit. You're trying to discredit somebody. There is no other way
Yeah,
around.
yeah, he's so annoying.
Oh yeah, yeah, it definitely is.
Again,
Beyond offensive.
people need to stop. He needs to stop having a platform because all he is doing is spreading hate, and it. I mean, he just keeps making himself and his family look awful. Like, I don't understand why.
I agree.
Is he really proud of this behavior?
I think they're just
It looks
oblivious to
Debbie.
it. They're
I mean,
oblivious.
you have to be a really hateful person to do the things that he's been doing.
It just seems very prideful. I see a lot of
Yeah.
pride there, being prideful, and we all know that pride comes before a fall. You know, that makes you look foolish. Pride will make you look foolish eventually.
And it does.
And so, it and on top of that, I really believe that they just need to take a break from social media altogether and take a break from doing interviews and just
And read the documents.
read the documents. Right. Read
Try
it,
try to look at everything and maybe try to see if maybe the thousands, the tens of thousands of us have anything, any type of truth to what we're saying. I mean,
Take a little break. Just
Take a break.
I think they need to go on a little hiatus. I do, because it's just getting worse. They just, if they want to, I don't know, if they want to be effective in a good way, it's not working. They need to take a step back, like for a little bit, take a little break, do some healing, get some therapy, do some introspection, and freaking, really think about things, because it seems like to me that they're exhausted, they're doing all these things, and they're just being emotional, and that's could be so incredibly
But then
destructive.
you have to think about the purposeful intent too. Not,
Well,
I mean,
yeah,
they have intent. They're
for sure,
So
for sure.
it's not just that, and that's where I have a problem.
Well, there's definite intent, but the emotional part of it is like there's no rein on it. There's no reins to bring it back to, and no self-control in the conversation. So, whether you think a thing, you feel something about a thing, it's just like I said, it just comes out like a flood. There's no holding it back, and that's foolish. And that really is going to bite them in the butt in the long run.
Well,
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a great point.
And money,
that is the point
is
of
the
that.
root of all evil, and they really want this lawsuit too. And
Yeah, the love of money. The love of money is the root of all evil. It sure is. It's what makes this world go around. It's what we're seeing with corruption in systems. It's all about that. It's money and power. And I really hate for that to be, something that, would get their claws in them enough to bring them all the way down. I mean, I don't know what's going on, beyond what we've seen. I just really think, and I say this as a human being, they should take a break, and hopefully they'll come to their senses, and maybe they'll realize some of the things they said, and really be repentant of it, because a lot of the things they're saying are serious and very hurtful, and there has to be some accountability for that.
Yeah, I want to know what's going on.
Yeah, but we already know.
Are you handling the stuff in the chat, Dago?
Yeah, I'm dealing with it. We're done anyway, but I do need to have an emergency meeting with my moderators anyhow about some other stuff. But we're in here almost 4 hours anyhow, so I need to bring it to a close. It was a great conversation. I think everybody got to express their feelings.
It's nice being on panel with you, ladies, and you.
Yeah, same with you.
Well, first of all, I'm grateful, Lori,
Yeah,
for your
you too.
input, and realize, Sweet Pea, as always, very much so. Thank you guys so much. I will be back tomorrow during the day to jump back into some more. I actually have another case that I wanted to bring to you guys. It's a cold case that really, really needs to get some attention from 2012. I know a lot of you guys are Idaho 4 people, but I would really love some support on this case. It needs to be seen and heard. So I
always love going over. I do love going over cold cases.
Yes, so do I.
Talk about doing good. These things need to be exposed, and the truth needs to come to light, just like this, everything. That's what we do.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
Yes, me too.
Very much appreciated.
Thank you.
Very much appreciated.
Thank you for having me. Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll be seeing some of you later.
For sure.
Absolutely. I appreciate you guys so very much. Again, Sweet Pea, Realize, and Miss Lori, Crime and Chaos, thank you so much for being here. Your input, all of it is so very important. Very much appreciated to this community. Always, always, always. So thank you all so very much. I hope to see you guys tomorrow somewhere out here in YouTube world. So thank you guys.
Care.
Yes, everybody in the chat. Everybody. Absolutely. Everybody in the chat, thank you so much for your support, as always. Thank you so much for being here, doing what you do, and just being you, guys. That's so very important to me. Thank you to anybody that chose to support us via any donations. That means everything in the world to my family at this point, more than you guys know. Absolutely. I can't even express it in any words. So thank you so much for that. My moderators, if you do have a moment, I know it's It's going on 9. But if you do have a moment, I really do need to have a meeting with you guys. Please and thank you. Guys, don't forget to love yourselves, love each other. Don't change a thing because you guys are perfect the way you are, the beautiful people. Thank you so much for being you. God bless, guys. Good night, and I will see you soon.
The coffee's cold, the final stain. We